More tariff uncertainty has things heading to the downside once again this morning. We are off the lows right now, still 0.5% here for the Nasdaq to get things going. On a Monday, we're through most of the key economic data for the next couple of weeks. Anyways, we do get ISM manufacturing coming up here this morning at 10 o'clock. Both of the manufacturing numbers here at 10 o'clock. We'll also get some Fed speak. Logan coming through at 10:15, and then Goolsby later on around lunchtime, 12:45. Keep that in mind as well. Again, Trump set to potentially double steel and aluminum tariffs up to 50% across the board as we get more information to start things off this week, as we left off on Friday, if you remember, with really very little information as far as what was happening with the tariffs going into the weekend. A little more certainty this morning has things headed back to the downside. Lots of things moving around as far as individual movers. Oil up big time here, 3% to the upside. So individual oil names catching a bit of a bid here this morning. We'll also touch on Google with a story. Google's antitrust case going to go ahead. Downside here this morning. We'll see what happens from that this week. It'll probably take more time, but 2.25% here for Google. More sales numbers out of Europe for Tesla this morning. Not good. Again, another month to the downside. Big percentage declines here. 1.5% for the sales, not the stock. 1.5% for the stock overall. I also saw a headline this morning suggesting that the 25,000, there was an internal leak suggesting that the $25,000 cheaper EV has been canceled, even though that Elon says
remember that
fake news.
And remember, he attacked Reuters super quick last year when Reuters broke the story and said, well, that was all you know what. Anyway, so we'll keep an eye out on that. Obviously, Elon focusing back now on Tesla, looking at winding down a lot of his government participation, especially with Doge. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Not good look today for Tesla as they get a lot of their European data, Brendo, and saving except for one specific jurisdiction, namely Norway. Yeah. Sales were down basically everywhere, but a lot of analysts are saying Norway could be a bellwether for Tesla's recovery in Europe. So we'll have to keep an eye out on that. Saying the Juniper, the new remodeled Model Y, has been selling quite well. There's lots to talk about today. DraftKings in focus as Illinois drops a new headline. They're going to be adding yet even more surcharges on a per bet basis. So down 5% here, 5.5%. And Cleveland Cliffs up 25% on that renewed 50% increase on aluminum.
Yeah, we'll see if that actually comes to be or comes to fruition. But regardless, some of the steel makers, I mean, it's been such a wild ride, lots of volatility. But here, as you were saying, here's DraftKings right now, 5.5%, very thinly traded. So not a lot of volume here. But yeah, we'll see how that pans out as we head into the morning as well. A lot to consider. Again, we're through most of the major earnings, all of the major earnings for this quarter. We're through most of the economic data. So the market in a bit of a tricky position here, trying to look for the next catalyst and the next headline to get some direction. Michael Moss coming up this morning. He was so excited on the weekend because he gets to look at monthly candles that he sent me all of his notes and what he wants to talk about this morning last night. So he's very well prepared and excited about monthly candles. So
I thought you were going to say he was excited to talk about a specific cryptocurrency that he likes a lot often.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I didn't actually read through it. Neil with his final day of vacation today, but Obi back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Lucky guy. Yo, what's up, Obi?
What's going on?
Oh, look at this. We got Randy.
Randy, what's up?
Not looking the greatest. These bananas today.
They're finally ripe. Might be able to eat one today.
Oh, thanks. Pass that to the wife to make some banana bread.
Oh, yeah. I love banana bread.
I can't eat that. That is going to be way, way too soft. But yeah, welcome. Thanks, Obi, for coming in. One more day, and then we got Neil coming back. He's back. He's safe. He's all ready to rock and roll. I was talking with him yesterday, so that should be good to have him back. Yeah, look, I'm the same way. I don't really see too many reasons here to go upside today. You had a couple. We spoke again, getting coffee there about a name that you like, and we'll figure out what other plays there's going to be today. DraftKings is interesting there with that tax being added on to every bet right now. That seems to be a little silly.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
20 pennies or something
25
for your
cents.
first 20 million bets. And then up to like what, 50 pennies?
25 cents the first 20 million bets and 50 cents thereafter.
Oh boy.
That's Illinois though. So
yeah, it's only
we'll see if anybody else follows that. I mean, I don't know. I think if you're making like $20 bets or even $10 bets, I mean, 25 cents isn't that bad. But I guess if you're making numerous bets, it could add up. So how was the weekend? Was it all right?
Not too bad. It was. I think I was talking to Sharif about this. It's just I had my family over from Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
So it's wedding season. We had a couple of wedding events to go to.
Oh,
so did a little bit of that.
That's fun.
Nothing too crazy.
Wedding season, sometimes good food, good people, things like that. Okay, good times. Yeah, it was a little windy around here this weekend, but yeah, a lot of outdoor activities. I actually have Friday off because hockey season is upon us every season. Every weekend is hockey weekend, it seems like, around here. But we had a lot of baseball this weekend and then a tournament this next weekend coming up. So we won't be here on Friday, but I guess you'll be here with Neil, I hope, as long as that's all good. Yeah, Palantir. Someone just said, when's Palantir going upside? That was a name that you and I had talked about.
That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, thinking long on that. So that should be pretty good. Ooh la la.
Thank you, Randy.
Randy, you want a coffee?
I just got one.
You just got one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
For all of that. Yeah, look, should be a good one today, though. I mean, NVDA down another, well, still down 0.6, still continuously moving down. We've wiped away now all of the earnings. Oh my God, I got to get rid. Look at these wicks on here on that. Oh gosh, on that earnings day. But we're all the way back now. So we've sort of gapped up there on earnings, and then gave it back Thursday, gave some back to Friday because earnings were Wednesday. And yeah, it looks like we're looking at 130 again right here today, down 0.6. And then crypto's not doing the most healthiest of things, down to 104 again. So if you're going to look at something like an IBIT, we still have some downward pressure over here in IBIT as well. Like, you know, that's not looking the greatest after 4 or 5 straight down days now for crypto. So we kind of got up there for Sharif's birthday there. And then that might have been the high. And then that was it since then. So we've really come off 64 down to $59 again here. So getting ready to maybe pull the trigger a little bit here if we can come back into this $58 mark for an IBIT long, and even in the longer in the long-term portfolio, because the last time I bought was right around here, 103.1. So it's come all the way back in. And then, yeah, the one that's the strangest for me this morning is going to be Google.
Yeah, that's a little.
I mean,
what's it do?
Oh man, I have that another bad wick down there. But yeah, down to 168 here, down 2.25%. You know, we know that they have this antitrust right here, and they're going to be fighting everything. So we'll wait to see how much that costs them and what that does lead to today. But another downside play there for Google. Now that it's broken below 170, I do kind of like that look. And then yeah, what a good look for CLF. So again, give something here for some of the low float names. Sorry, this is not a low float name, for a high running name as we get back up to the upside. I also saw Nucor as well was upside just for a little bit of a better name, to like higher quality name on the stock side of things to look at. This is up 11%, so this should continue to get going there. And then of course we have the Nippon Steel, U.S. Steel deal that's been basically stamped, I guess, done near $55. So that's going to be, you know, nice spot to be in these days if you're in the metals space. So yeah, Cleveland Cliff's going to be another one to watch here today. We'll see if we can get some low dips in and around the $7 mark. So yeah, everything's pretty good over here, man. It's been the Blue Jays swept the A's, which the A's kind of not the greatest of teams, but you know, when you can get 4 wins in a row there, that's pretty good. So, yeah, so right now, Google on my mind, Tesla on my mind. I've got these two written down, probably something about Cliffs here today as well. And I want to watch Uber. I mean, Uber has been going to the downside as well, based on Elon saying he's not going to buy them, based on the robo-taxi announcement coming last week, and then rolling some more out in later in June. We saw the Model Ys rolling around Austin, fully self-drive without anybody in them. So that's going to be an interesting thing as well. You know what I found out on the Tesla, though? So I registered the app. Amazing. Yeah, it's been... I didn't realize how fun the car would be to drive.
Yeah.
It is literally like a go-kart. Like you put your foot on it, it's like whoops,
like instantly, it's right there. It's right there.
So me and Marissa were driving yesterday. We had to go get vegetables for the garden. Shout out to Patty Ice. We planted his tomato, and then we had to go down here to Davenport. Davenport shrubbery. I don't know what they're called. Anyways, we went down here and we were able to get what is it called when you're going to places that are selling, not, you know, plants, garden center.
Yeah, like
there's
another
one, Davenport. Anyways, garden center. Yeah, so
Oh,
we got
I think I know what you're talking
heirloom
about.
tomatoes, all these different fancy things. Yeah. So she planted all those yesterday. But anyways, we're in the car, and I'm just like going on the gas. She has her coffee. It's like spilling everywhere because I'm like, the car's jumping like every time I'm hitting the. I kind of was doing it on purpose a little bit. So it was like really fun. So that was a fun time. I was like, I don't know what's going on. But anyways, we had some fun there. And now all the kids only want to travel in the car. So, but
spacious as well, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just a Model 3. So it's like just a sedan.
No, but I'm saying like just like the Teslas in general. They're even for a sedan, it's I would say above average in terms of space. So, yeah.
The trunk was completely loaded. I've put all the baseball stuff in there, and so that worked out. You got to measure. Like if you're going to buy a car, you got to make sure the trunk fits bodies. So I mean, golf bags and things like that in there. So I mean, that's the way to test that out first. So yeah. Sure.
I know definitely one to watch out for. But yeah, Tesla. I got Tesla on watch as well, man. Yep. What's up with these BYD coming in last week with crazy cuts, like 30%. Yeah, it's sold off. But like I'm saying, they're introducing a 30% discount into the market, kind of like just really kind of shaking up that space. And Tesla, I think it's definitely going to be on watch. We saw this kind of push there last week, attempted to kind of consolidate a little bit there, a little bit of a pullback going into the end of the week. Aggressive selling. When I say a little bit of pullback, I'm obviously being a little bit sarcastic. It's an aggressive sell-off intraday, about 4%, over 4% off of the highs intraday there, and then kind of finding a base around 345s. Look at that, gapping down. So that 345, that prior day low, going to be a little interesting here on Tesla. Looking for that potential continuation because we tried to kind of consolidate and push all of last week. Right. Nursery, yeah, okay, that was the
nursery
word for
such an idiot.
Garden center. Yeah, and then I think in terms of earnings, so not a lot of earnings day ones today, but earnings day twos for sure. We saw what Dell did. Dell with a little bit of a shake and bake off of that initial earnings reaction. On its day one, we couldn't quite get past its VWAP and kind of sold off as well. So I'm going to be looking at some of this prior day one range on Dell to see if that'll have any sort of opportunities. And of course, NVDA as well, one to watch out for. That one also sold off, multi-day sell-off there off of its earnings. So earnings day one, day two sold off. Let's see what day three on NVIDIA has in store for us. Can we break down this low? It was really interesting, Sean, on Friday. I was like, oh, is NVIDIA actually going to break its earnings reaction reference low and actually go even further after we've sold off? Guess what? It kind of false broke it, held it a little bit there. You can see that off the earnings reaction, showed us some demand off of those prices, and then coming in once again going into the end of the day. But I have no idea. I'm going to be watching this low right here. That reference low is going to be interesting for me. A little bit of a sideways consolidation, flat action here in the pre-market on NVIDIA. I think it's going to be interesting to me only if it comes down to that 133 mark. Other than that, I do obviously have Palantir. I know everybody's watching this name. Absolutely craziness coming in with that imbalance going into the end of the day there. Beautiful reversions going both ways, right? For the long, for the short, and then coming in with the long again. If you look at a higher time frame chart on Palantir, you can see that it is attempting to break out into some fresh all-time highs here. That 133.48 is that wick high from just a couple of months ago. So going to be watching out for that aggressive action and pressure going into the end of the day. I want to see if that continues coming into the day today. Palantir, definitely one of my top names to watch, Sean.
All right, good. Yeah, we got to get some long ideas going on through here. This Lyra right here up almost 600% right now. A lot of people talking about that here today. Therapeutics name, so just more trial data. Nice move to the upside right here for LYRA, and it's absolutely gone. I mean, this was just 10, 11 cents, $4, $6, $32 right now.
It's a daily chart?
If Michael Moss is listening, man, why don't you tell me about this last week? I mean, LYRA, come on. I mean, this was, perfectly set up to gap up 600%. But there it goes again. Congratulations, anybody looking at this name. This will be a halting name for sure once the market opens. I mean, you don't do this kind of volume here. 10 million shares go from $4 all the way up to $32 and don't expect to get some halt. So watch out for LYRA today. Thanks for pointing that one out in the chat, everybody. So a couple good ideas, a couple good talk there as we get ready to go. So here we go, man. This is going to be a crazy day. This LYRA actually looks pretty good at $26 in and around here that we've held a couple times. So we'll be looking at this. This is now on the watch. But yeah, good good levels here. And as we said, Michael Noss is ready to go. Looking at those monthly candles now, so that should be exciting. Hit us with a lot of information, and they're going to go over some of those charts. So, yeah, I'm writing down the note. You got some good names over there. The fruit salads ready to kick over there for Obi. We have one more day of Obi, then a couple days with me and Neil and I, and then we go back to Obi on Friday. So it should be a fun week for sure. I didn't even notice this week, this month as well. We have a day off, Juneteenth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a special day off. Again, that kind of happens there in the middle of the month, so we'll look forward to that as that's coming up as well. So, all right, let's go back over to the desk. And wow, there goes this LYRA. It was just $32. Now it's $34. Buy it while you can, I guess. LYRA starting to get back there to the upside. So good job there for anybody looking over there. All right, let's go back over the desk now as Michael's been waiting.
It's 1 million shares, like basically exactly 1 million shares. It also says the short float on that is 254%. So could be why that so many people are paying attention to it this morning. That's what Michael Noss wants to talk about. We'll take a trip around the indices as we typically do at the start of the month. But I mean, none of these are going to be 254% short. So there's that. But I mean, that one's pretty exciting to start the week.
Well, and why didn't you tell me, Sean? I'm here getting blamed that I didn't tell you. Well, why didn't you tell me? It goes both ways here, right? It's a relationships back and forth.
All right, let's talk about some monthly candles, shall we?
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
Let's zoom out a little bit. You know, I know you guys are doing all the crazy stuff over there, but this is a good exercise. I love when the monthly charts or the time of the monthly charts line up with the episode here, because this is an exercise I think everybody should do, whether you're a day trader, a swing trader, long-term investor. It's good to just once a month, right, zoom out on some of these longer-term charts, get a good feel for what's actually happened in the market when you remove all the noise, which is the main reason to zoom out this long, is that everything looks way cleaner the more you zoom out, whether it's from a minute chart to a 15-minute chart or a daily chart to a monthly chart. Again, this is a great exercise. Again, I think everybody should be doing. And we'll start off here with just something from Ryan Diedrich here, was just showing the best May in 35 years by a pretty significant margin, right? 1998 was the closest one before that, and that was 5%, and we were over 6% here. So, you know, the whole sell in May, go away thing, maybe the end of May, but certainly not the beginning of May, because wow, what an awesome move we had off the lows there. So first chart here is the S&P 500. Again, we are just zoomed out on monthly charts, so each one of these is going to be years and years of price action. But the point of this, again, is just to give us some kind of clarity and some good vibes, I guess, to just chill out a little bit and say, okay, what actually happened this month? So it's crazy if you look back at last month's candle, how much it looks like nothing in hindsight, although at the time there was, you know, panic in the streets. Everything was just looking absolutely crazy. You know, people were talking about Black Monday events and, you know, giant recessions and all of this. And then we are right back up. So we're pretty much exactly where we were to start the year, and we're pretty much exactly where we were at all-time highs, give or take a couple percent. But a lot of stocks, I think there was like 63 or so stocks that made all-time monthly closing highs on Friday, which isn't something you normally see in bear markets, that many names making all-time highs. But just from a candlestick pattern, this looks like a little bit of a morning star, or, you know, some sort of hammer, and then a continuation from there. Again, so far, so good. And again, it makes me feel better anyway to zoom out and see these things in a little bit longer term charts. So next one here is just the Qs as opposed to the Nasdaq. You can see a little bit better relative strength. That last monthly candle was actually green as opposed to red, and then the May monthly candle gets us way closer to all-time highs. We were actually only maybe, I think, 50 cents or so from an all-time monthly closing high if you ignore those top wicks that we had. So again, getting very, very close to all-time highs here. If we zoom out, you know, yes, we're going to have back and forth. It's going to be probably what we're getting for years with this kind of back and forth action in the market, but very close to all-time monthly closing highs. Now, Gold was a very interesting one too. I zoomed out here and grabbed gold. An inside month, right? So as much as I was trying to do some fading on gold last month when it looked a little bit overextended, having an inside month is generally speaking pretty bullish, because if you just look at these candlestick patterns, an inside month essentially just means that we had a rest, right? So you could call it a bull flag on the daily chart, and if you zoom into the gold daily chart, it kind of looks like that. So a nice inside month on gold that's working through some overbought type action. And you can see below, before we broke out around in the 250 area on GLD, we actually paused for 2 months and then we broke out on the 3rd. So maybe that's what we're going to have happen this month, or maybe we just kind of rip from there. But yeah, just a little inside rest there. Sector that stood out the most to me was this next chart in ITA. So talked about this a lot. Defense spending just shattered through all-time highs and did not stop all month, making a new all-time closing highs here on defense. So, right, think of Lockheed Martin and Boeing and a lot of these kind of defensive names making a new all-time high, just showing that we know that that's where some government spending is going. So people are looking to benefit off these. Generally speaking, new all-time highs isn't a bad thing, so it might be worthwhile to make a list of some of these defensive names. And then over to the crypto space as well, because I know some people are getting a little bit freaked out that Bitcoin's moving a little bit lower here. But again, it's good to kind of zoom out and say, hey, are we just going to be doing the same thing we did in that last consolidation pattern that lasted much longer, almost a year? Is that what's going to be happening right here? I thought we were potentially going to break this time. We still could. We're only down around 105 or so, but it could just be that we were up 2 months in a row and maybe we have some sort of rest type month before we go, or maybe it looks a little bit more like it did in 2024. And last but not least, which is interesting and hasn't been interesting in a long time, is Ethereum. If you look at just the monthly candle in a void, it's way bigger than the Bitcoin monthly candle. So showing that for the first time in years, we've had some really good outperformance in Ethereum. Shout out to the altcoin season people. I've been told by a lot of the altcoin guys that this season is coming, and it's been a while that we've been waiting for this season to come, but maybe that's what's going to happen now that we got some outperformance in Ethereum. So that's a little trip around indices. Again, highly recommend. One thing I do every week is I go look at the weekly charts, and then one thing I do every month is I go look at the monthly charts, and it just gives me a very good understanding of what's actually happened with all of the noise stripped out, and just seeing the entire month in one candlestick, and pretty much across the board, pretty bullish month this month.
So if we go back to that overall market look just for a second here, I'll even grab the chart. In your travels, in your past, when you see this type of price action on such a high time frame, the next thing that happens, if we were to put our forecasting hats on, the next thing that happens, as you mentioned, typically you either see a breakout and some follow through, or consolidation. I mean, if you look at this from the path of least resistance standpoint, I would say down is no longer it.
That, hammer candles and bottoming tails that you can see there's a monster one. They're usually pretty predictive. The only one we can see right there on the chart is, say July or August of 2024. We had a big bottoming tail, and then that led to 4 or 5 months higher, making new all-time highs. To me, it would take a lot of price action and bad news to get us into that or through that hammer candle. To me, this looks like, you can look up a morning star pattern, but something like that, where you're right, you had a massive bottoming tail, and for that to happen, you have to have a very fast reversal of a down move, right? If we demystify these candles, a bottoming tail just means a really, fast move down that gets reversed really quickly. So there's probably a lot of shorts that are caught in that candle. There's a lot of probably missed longs that didn't get involved in that candle. I think for me, if I was a long-term investor and I saw this chart just in a void and I didn't know what it was, the trade is simple. Whether this is a 1-minute chart or a 1-month chart, is you're trying to be bullish around this area and your stop goes at the low of that bottoming candle. So to me, this looks incredibly bullish. I would be shocked if we don't try to make new all-time highs, but you're right, we could take a little bit of a break, some sort of consolidation, but yeah, this looks really, really bullish to me.
Fantastic. Michael Noss, great insight as always. We'll see you again after the close tonight.
Talk to you then.
All right, that's right. It's Michael and I tonight after the close, and then Neil's back tomorrow, but then wait a minute, I'm doing Tuesday as well. Okay, so I'm going to be on there as well tomorrow. So thanks, Michael, for coming through. Yeah. You have a interesting.
No, I love that look, and I definitely vibe with that. Got to always step back and look at higher time frames. And it's funny enough, from the time when I joined the floor, I was always asking around, like, have you guys seen the 6-month and the 12-month charts on these markets here? You can look at the spider here. Again, absolutely beautiful. This is a 6-month chart on the spider. Now, if you were to take a look at this, I would 100% agree with both Brendo and Michael there. It definitely looks like we're poised to push these highs right there. Look, we're in a perpetual kind of an uptrend. This bottom wick, we were just talking about those aggressive bottom wicks right here. This bottom wick is from COVID. That's 2020. Right there, and then we're seeing a little bit more of that same right here. And again, you want to go even higher than that 12-month chart right here, that 2022 red candle. I was saying this a couple years ago. I was like, oh boy, if we break this high, what are the chances we go for a little bit of a push and a squeeze? And we've gotten that follow through here. But yeah, absolutely solid look. I think looking at higher time frames.
Look,
definitely got to keep a picture, keep the bigger picture in mind.
For sure. Like, look, back in mid-April, we asked right here live on the show, and I asked Neil, are we going to get to all-time highs? I asked Joe, everybody, if we're going to get back to all-time highs this year. It was a hell no. And I was a yes. It's good to hear that Michael Noss looks to think maybe we can get back into that all-time high. I think there's still some work to be done to get there. We're obviously going to need some deal talk. And that's just a shot in the dark to see if we get there. Because if this China whole situation keeps going in the way that I feel like it's going, which is not well, then I don't know if we can get back to where we were, but I'm still very positive on it. I think we do break all-time highs. And actually, I bought some more S&P 500 last week. So hopefully we're going to be able to just keep on DCAing into that because of those charts that you showed. You know, I mean, a lot of this is noise. If you're going to be talking about something a couple years down the road, then yeah, I think the dollar cost averaging into the SPY, just for reasons like what you showed, what Michael's been showing there, you get all this news that comes out, just gives you better prices to buy, right? I mean, look, eventually, I don't know even know if we can say this. I was going to say eventually dollar cost averaging might not work, but I don't know if that's true or not. The market over there, the thing went back to 2003 or whatever that chart was there, even longer than that. And we've been going upside since then.
I would say it's like any kind of trade that's working, it'll work until it doesn't, right? I think that's it's working until it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's like any kind of trade.
Right? Yeah, that's probably right. I mean, these markets don't look like they're breaking anytime soon to the low side. That low in April, one opportunity. I mean, you had Amazon at 160, man. You had like Google at 140. I mean, whatever. We can go over all the names. Doesn't really matter. Meta at 480. Good morning, Ramin.
Morning.
At 480 was a great level there. Yeah. Okay, all right, we do have, first of all, I'm watching this LYRA, man. It was just to $29. Now it's back to $32 again, as this name just keeps on ripping around. I do have it here on the sticky note, which is going to be out in a second as soon as I just put the final touches on this tweet. It should be out, and we'll be talking all about those names as well. CLF moving around, NVDA moving around, Palantir just absolute kicking right now as well. So we're really excited to have all these names on our watch here today. All right, it's Adara over at the green screen. Let's figure out what's been upgraded and downgraded.
Let's start here with these Bank of America upgrades, both of which you can find out more about on our Trader TV Live watch list. Boeing getting a straight high price target of $260 and an upgrade this morning from Bank of America. Then Amazon getting a positive note here and a price target increase from the same agency or analyst. You can certainly check those out again on our watch list. CrowdStrike ahead of its earnings report tomorrow after the close, getting an upgrade from Rosenblatt Securities. And Nucor with steel certainly on watch and in play today, getting this BMO Capital Markets upgrade, currently up about 10%. Then we have a bit of an energy theme heading into our downgrade section. Goldman Sachs downgrading both CP and Union Pacific. UBS here with a downgrade for Ida Corp. And last but not least, Elf Beauty, one of last week's earnings names, actually getting downgraded this morning by Morgan Stanley. Back to you.
All right, Obi, what's I like your fancy over there.
Again, I went through.
You went to Boeing. That's where I was going to go.
No, I went through all those stickers as she was kind of talking about it. I was like, all right, Nucor looks great as well, along with some of those other steel names that are moving around. But Boeing was not on my watch list necessarily, and I pulled it up right here. So a nice little push there on that upgrade. Pretty aggressive upgrade, I'd say. It was trading at 205, it's 260 upgraded, and it's up about I guess about just over 2.5% there on in the pre-market. But you can see that a little bit of an aggressive bid there. Now I'm forgetting what the catalyst here was on Thursday. Regardless, some strong action there. Maybe some resistance at that 212. So maybe I want to throw up a quick alert there and see if that'll come in anytime during the day. Actually, we'll go a little bit lower, so we're there before that breakout kind of comes in. But Boeing looks nice. Let's see if this one can potentially take flight to the upside for some breakout action here. Let's go to a higher time frame. I don't like the 30-minute there. I got to see a little bit more information. Go back right here. So okay, so maybe some consolidations from much earlier at the beginning of 2024. So 2024 opening prices potentially coming in here on Boeing is what I'm seeing as of right now on this action. So a nice little bid back up from those April lows that we've been seeing across the board. For that continuation. But yeah, let's see if some of this upgrade can give us that breakout. I got my alert in, not my top idea, but definitely one I will now be watching on the day. So
I have a little bit of an interesting idea here. I don't own it, so please don't tell my wife that we don't own this stock, because I believe that she thought we should have bought this name at like 70. But Elf Cosmetics or Elf Beauty here, they're at a shelf. Oh God.
Yeah. Elf on a shelf?
Elf on a shelf.
Oh boy.
Did not.
That was good.
That was good, but that was not part of the.
Those were the best. Those are the best
plan.
ones.
Yeah. Do you have an elf on the shelf?
No, I don't think so.
You don't have one? We have two of them, man. One for each kid.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any kids yet.
Come on, man. Just get an elf on the shelf. I'm going to get you one for Christmas, man. You just put it, all you have to do is have it in your house, and then it just magically shows up in all these different spots.
Okay.
You don't have to put it anywhere.
Yeah, and it just shows up.
It does it itself. It's magic.
Right, that's fair.
You know about elf on the shelf? Yeah, you wake up and it's gotten itself into some mischief.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything. You just go to bed.
Yeah, and then
it wakes up like it will total your. Ramin knows about elf on a shelf. Do you have any elf on the shelves? There we go. See.
Well, I'm
she has an elf on the shelf.
All right. Okay.
There's Snoop. There's a Snoop one too. Snoop on a stoop.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a guy, little guy doing something on a stoop.
Okay.
There.
Nice.
What happened there? We don't do any of that. Who made that thing? But anyways, yeah, you should get one of those. But anyways, okay, so I was just looking here. So let's get back to stocks here quickly. This elf, whether or not it's on a shelf or not, it's about to get ready to give back some of that. I mean, let's just wait to see. I don't know if it's going to. Right now, it's flat on the day with no volume. But this is looking pretty interesting to me at 110. If we don't hold this 110, I would say that you're probably looking at 104-ish on ELF. So if you're looking for a play that's maybe a little outside of the norm here for kind of day trading, it looks great. Outside of the norm as far as scalping, I think this could be a good move, back in here for ELF right there as we get excited to see what happens here with ELF. So. Yeah, man, good one there. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening. It's 9:03. The note's about out right here. We're going to go through our sticky note here. So let's go back over to the desk. We're glad to have Sharif back today. So he's going to, I think, go over some futures levels, or if not, we'll talk about something, I'm sure. All right, let's go back over.
59.62, guys. That's where we closed out on Friday on the ES June contract. The overnight high right now is 59.09, so we've already lost 5,900. Let's see, number one, can we start off the day above 5,900? If we can, we'll try to use it as support. If we lose 5,900, we're looking at overnight low 58.67 as support. If we get past 5,900, we'll look, it's actually 6,000 as support or as resistance. Multiple rejections there, Brendo.
If you haven't done so yet, make sure you take a second, jump down to the description in this video. Top link will get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. We send it out to you every single morning. Has everything that's moving around in the pre-market and why. We'll group together tech in general here, although we'll also talk about Apple a little bit later on. But tech in general downside because of this whole tariff discussion. Google I brought up because it has its own catalyst today, a little bit worse off than most of these, 2%. Right now on this antitrust, I mean, the decision's going to go through and the actual appeal is going to go through. So how this plays out over the next couple of days and coming weeks remains to be seen. But the stock getting hit here as well.
Yeah, it's getting hit here in the pre-market. Brenda, we'll keep an eye out on that on the midday, see exactly what's going on. But China coming out overnight, refuting, guys, the American accusations of breaking the Geneva Trade Agreement, instead accusing the Trump administration of violations. The dispute follows, obviously, that 90-day tariff suspension that they agreed to between Scott Bessent and China's He Linfeng. Trump accused China of totally violating the agreement. Basically, what he's citing is slow action on rare earth export easing, which had been part of China's response to the 145% tariff. Now there's new U.S. restrictions, which is sparking backlash out in China. So the U.S. imposed new export curbs, specifically, though, Brendo, on semiconductor software and certain chemicals, and revoked certain student visas of Chinese nationals. China claimed these moves are seriously undermining the trade talks, and Beijing also looking to tighten its grip, as I mentioned, on rare earth exports. Talks have stalled, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent urging a Donald Trump President Xi call to stabilize negotiations. Apparently, according to some sources, they could speak as early as this week, so we'll keep you updated on that. Last but not least here, Brendo, experts say China avoided top-level calls unless prior agreements are in place, which clashes with Donald Trump's, kind of freestyle of trying to make deals on the go.
Yeah, a couple other notes in this group here. Microsoft investing $400 million in an AI data center in Switzerland. Again, minor headline. Amazon, German regulators targeting price controls or further price control mechanisms in that country as well. So Amazon actually just made a spike to the downside there, but just 0.5% here for Amazon, guys.
Yeah, lots of news.
Yeah, so you have the TQQs up. I actually was looking over there, but didn't choose to look directly into that light. We will be doing that, though, today. We'll be trading the TQs. I'll leave it to you to talk, about that. I have Google listed on here. I got to get rid of that wick. But I have Google listed on here as a short today just because it is down that 2%. I see we just talked about it there a little bit. And this is going to be a big part of the market. We already saw that Google's actually the #1 weighted stock in the Nasdaq, right? Because you got to take the Google and the Google. So there's two parts there. They're both about 7%, equaling about 14. And we saw Microsoft, I think the other day you called it up, was 9 or 10% or something like that. So Google combined, definitely, weighing a little bit here on the Nasdaq as they look to, in my opinion, get back into the 50-period moving average. We had Steve Talman on Friday saying that this looked like the most constructive chart, and he actually thought it was the best long in the market today, So I don't want to discount the fact that we're down 2% here today. It may get bought up just because of again, a lot of the love that this name had. We had been over the 200-period moving average and looking to get longer right there. But it's also had a nice move. I still question, search and this whole AI sort of boon that we're in right now, and where does Google wind up making all their money off of this? There's a lot of money been spent, but we do have quantum computing that is still going to be a play for Google. So for me, I'm looking short here. I think it's pretty easy. I wrote down the sticky notes now out. Short through 170. Like if we can get anything back into here, 169, 169.50. Looking at Google here on the daily chart, we got going on many names into the afternoon. On Friday, there was the rebalancing and whatnot. So Google goes out, prints in and around this high of 172. Then we sort of barcoded in the aftermarket. That doesn't tell me anything. So right now I'm using this 200-period moving average, which is 170. There's 170 right there. This is what happens when we broke it on Friday. It was coming in, whoops, all the way down to 167.50. So I think it's fine. It wanted to go down until we get some, much better news here from Google. I think it continues to go lower. It's been a nice move up. I didn't really understand why it was going up so much. I did get out of some of my Google in and around the 160 to 161 area, which has been a mistake, but I'm pretty comfortable where it is now. I think short until it breaks back above 170. I mean, it's underneath that level. It's similar. We're going to talk about Tesla. It's similar to the way I feel about Tesla underneath 350. I mean, it's just, you're breaking key levels, and that's fine. We don't have to be negative on Google this whole week. It's just for today, the market's starting off a little bit sluggish, and it's being led to the downside by, for me, the biggest Mag 7 name, which is what we're talking about right now. I think lower. Remember, we have Broadcom coming later on this week, so that could be a name to look at. We have Palantir to talk about some longs as well, if and when we're looking for longs. But for now, I'm looking short, and Google is on the top of my list.
Yeah, I think that's a good look there, Sean. Google definitely one of the only ones that's really kind of pulling us a little bit lower there with that aggressive sell-off in the pre-market. But looking here at the TQ, still well within yesterday's range. Sure, we're gapping down a little bit there, but like Sean said, aggressive bid going into the end of the day. It was MSCI rebalancing. So maybe reverting a bit of that action there. Google definitely, it reverted all of its action there. You can see NVIDIA holding up pretty well as well within that end of day range from last week. And Apple as well. So Apple kind of see nothing too crazy here on Apple, just kind of sideways consolidation. So the weakness not showing up everywhere, but certain tech names for sure a little bit weighted down more than others there. Amazon as well, maybe on watch with a little bit of a catalyst. But I think Google, I think Sean's definitely right on looking at Google on the day today because it's had some of the most extensive moves in terms of tech. Tesla for sure on watch, but if I were to pick one, I'd definitely pick either the TQs. That's what I'll be watching to see what we do with prior day's range, or Google for sure because it's one of the constituents that's doing one of its like its own thing, and it does have a little bit of a catalyst. And you can see that over the past couple of days, we have been kind of selling off there pretty aggressively off of that 175, 176 failure to follow through. So let's see what we have on Google. Market tailwind obviously going to be an important factor as well.
All right, Tesla trying to claw its way back higher here. We had a bit of a move downside into the close, if you remember, back on Friday, and then the gap down this morning on some sales data out of Europe. Once again, missing expectations right across the board. So what is this, 3-4 maybe months in a row here where these numbers have really come in below estimates. There was also kind of a low-key note this morning suggesting that the $25,000 cheap SUV from Tesla has also been canceled once again, even though Elon continues to deny that. Yeah,
25,000 in this current pricing is kind of insane, Brett. Maybe when he announced it 5-6 years ago, but not now. Let's talk about what happened today. Those Tesla's May sales plunged in several European countries, including a 53.7% drop in Sweden and over 68% in Portugal. The broader EV market, those, especially in those countries, actually grew, highlighting Tesla's loss of share. Additional declines you can see there on the chart: 30.5% in Denmark, 36% in the Netherlands, 19% in Spain, and 67% in France. I guess they're too busy blowing up cars there after Paris Saint-Germain won the Champions League. Norway bucked the trend, though, Brendo, with Tesla sales jumping 213% year over year in May, up to about 2,300.5 units, driven by the refreshed Model Y. Analysts view Norway as kind of a bellwether for Tesla's possible potential recovery in Europe, so stay tuned. We'll keep an eye out on that. And Tesla's not just taking it lying down. They're cutting prices in certain markets like Sweden and France, but the Model 3 and the Model Y sales remain soft. They're also trying to financially incentivize people with interest-free loans out in Norway and kind of deploying that to stimulate demand. We'll have to see how that works out.
You and I were talking about this on, I think, Thursday or Wednesday maybe of last week. BYD over in China as well, aggressively trying to price competition essentially out of that market in general. This stock has had quite a move down over the past week. And this is the OTC listing, but this stock has had quite a move down over the past week or so for BYD, but Tesla sales in China also down.
And Brendo, there is an insane price war happening right now in China between these Chinese electric vehicle makers. They're all trying to undercut each other. It's getting ugly.
Yeah, I mean, BYD also has, they have EVs, but also ICE engines as well. But it's getting challenging, I guess, for a lot of these. NIO down this morning. I mean, I saw XPeng was green. It's now basically flat on the day over in China as well, guys.
Yeah, lots of competition, definitely building in the EV space. I think we were talking about this a little earlier. Yeah. I think we're in for some exciting times, I'd say. I mean, with China just kind of they're pretty much shaking it up there. And again, we'll see how Tesla kind of comes back with some of their price adjustments. But a little bit of a sell-off coming in. I'm definitely going to be watching Tesla on the day today, and it's on the way to the downside as of the past 2 prior trading days. So a little bit of a selling happening there, but you can see kind of in pretty much sideways consolidation since about what day is this? We kind of had that a bit of an aggressive bid coming into the 13th of May, and we've been in the sideways kind of consolidation there. So range in and around maybe 330s all the way to 350s. There we attempted to push a little bit higher, couldn't quite get to 370s, and then pulling back and trading within that prior structure, prior range there as of right now. So I'll be watching if we can distinctly get above that 350, or if we can come into 350. I'll be watching because that is that prior range high. If selling wants to step in again at some point today, I think 350 might be an interesting place to look because that was the range high a couple of weeks ago. So other than that, on Tesla, I don't have anything too crazy to watch, but it should be interesting. Let's see if we get some intraday catalysts as well across the board on these EV names. But Tesla is one of the main ones I will be watching. BYD, I don't know if we're watching BYD too much, but it's watchable. It trades on the OTC.
Yeah, BYDDF, BYDDY. Yes. There is some opportunities to trade on there. But like once again, I'm just trying to stick with what I've been doing here, man. I mean, Tesla's going to be the #1 trade idea on here again. 347 to 348 short. Some mixed sales data, but we're still under 350 for me, which means short. We talked about here that we had a nice Friday close, so we'll wait to see if we can resist anything up in and around that level. So there it is, man. There's the nice move there on Friday. I mean, it wasn't a great close for them compared to the other stocks as we went to the downside, but again, mind that 350 downside play there. So this is kind of the levels that I think we can get back to. And I'm just bumping it up just a little bit right into here because I feel like that's 349 right into there, which was a pretty good hold late on Friday. I guess it was sort of at 3 o'clock. Then we bumped up and then we got those imbalances, right? And so that close gives me this area right into here that we can look at. And I wrote down 347 to 348. So that top right there is 348. So let's just see if we can get back to that level. We'll start to short right there. And then really, I mean, I don't want to get out of this until we break through 350, but 350 is not even the thing really. It's more like this 352 area up at the top. So for me, coming back into here will be a very interesting name. I don't think we get that high. We may just continue to fall down. But, when I was writing this, the market was trying to do things. And right now we're maybe looking even lower than where we were before. So yeah, looking to break this bottom of 340 is probably going to be the early trade. And if you really don't like Tesla today, I don't blame you. I think that's been decent move off of that 360. We talked about it coiling and breaking. Well, then there's the rejection right there at that next level. We didn't even really get going, man. We broke that 350. We went $10. Tesla has to go more than that. It can go $10 in 5 minutes, and it does, Obi. It does that almost every day. So that little break higher there really falsely, gave some hope there that we were going higher. Negative news hits right now. China, not a good story. Obviously, Elon being back at the helm is great, which I think is why it's still here. Otherwise, we're going lower. So I would say we could see a 320 print even later on this week. But for right now, breaking through 340 looks like a trade. But I'm going to be patient early, waiting for pops.
All right, positive note out here this morning on Apple from Citigroup, raising their price target and reiterating a buy on the stock. It's been kind of hanging out here for the past couple of weeks. This is a daily chart. Holding, 200, a bit of a pivot so far, but it seems like from a macro standpoint or a high level standpoint, some of these headlines, AI specifically, starting to get a little more positive.
I think it's just really the lowered expectations we have for Apple here, Brendo, because they kind of botched it quite bad. Let's talk about it. Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference, WWDC, kicks off next Monday, June 9th, focusing on iOS, macOS, iPadOS, and obviously other software updates. New announcements, though, guys, are expected to include Apple Intelligence features, part of the company's, obviously, broader AI push. The rollout, though, has been, well, we know what it's been. So Apple's AI-powered personalized Siri features guys, are now officially delayed until 2026, which contributed obviously to the muted investor excitement. Despite this, Citi believes Apple is structurally well positioned for the AI era due to its full stack device and software integration. And they like it to the tune of about $240 here, Brendo, reiterating their buy rating and obviously implying an upside move here from the $200 we're currently trading at. Citi goes on to say that investor expectations are low heading into WWDC, which may reduce the downside risk and set up a positive surprise if the AI demos impress. Last time we saw only videos of these AI demos. I want to see on-hand device tests, Brendo, to know that they actually exist in real life.
Yeah, I got to give Google credit for doing that. Live on stage, they actually, tried to do a demo. It completely failed and they botched it, but they tried.
At least they tried.
Live in real time. And I also want to stop hearing this coming later this year. It seems like every time they have one of these events, everything is coming later this year.
Not good, Brendo.
Why have the event if it's not ready yet?
Yeah, I don't want to.
Anyway,
I want to stop.
We're back to this high right here. I just went out to a weekly chart on Apple as well. This high right here is July of 2023, guys. So it's been basically 2 years of chop.
Yeah, I think that's a great look here, Brendo. Funny enough, I had the weekly chart pulled up as well. I'm like, all right. I kept on going higher and higher. I went from like from a 30-minute to an hour to a 3-hour to a daily to a weekly, and I'm like, yeah, pretty much chop there on in and around this 200 mark as of recent. We did get that strong bid off of that 168, 169 level, but pretty much price compression it would seem here. Selling coming in off of those highs, that's been pretty kind of clear here. I don't know what indicators I have on here, but yeah, a lot of mess. But let me put that back down there. But downtrending, thank you, Sharif. Trending down, you can see lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and a bit of a price compression here, stepping up higher than some prior structures as well. So could be interesting. Again, this is the rate. So when I see this, right away, I'm just looking at a range. So we'll go back to the 3-hour chart here. So the range that's been forming over the past couple of weeks, that's going to be interesting to me here to see where we go from here. So right there, right away, this level stands out very clearly. 214.7, you have one top, two top, three tops, right underneath a little bit of a supply zone as well with that strong selling, and then a little bit of a base here at that 190. So encapsulating that 200 by about 10, 15 points on each side is Apple right now. So price compression, yes. Where will we go? I don't know. Is it coiling up? Kind of looks like it, but we'll wait and watch to see what it does with that 200 mark. I have eyes on it. I think it's a little bit closer to this support than it is this resistance. So if it can come down into this 193, 194 area, I'll take a look at it. 190 is a little bit stronger there, as that's the prior kind of a stronger structure there. Post bounce. But yeah, I'll be watching that Apple to see if it comes into any of those levels to give me some opportunity to begin. Not necessarily the top idea on the day just yet, but one to definitely watch out for. But yeah, I don't know if Sean has anything to say about Apple here. But like I said, we'll wait for that compression to kind of deal with itself. And if that compression starts to unwind and really release, then I definitely want to stay involved with the Apple move. But we don't know when that's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Apple here, but the problem is sort of just this level that we're at. We're at $200, right? And so I just think that right there, there's going to be some push and pull on that level. It's Monday, so we're not looking at too many options right here other than like maybe 0-day options. But yeah, just kind of hovering around in the pre-market. It didn't really give me any reason to get super excited about this right now, right? I mean, not when we're looking at names like Palantir today, Google, Tesla, things like that are actually moving. So for me on Apple, it's not overly exciting, but yeah, look, I love the ecosystem. I think whatever they do, they'll get it right. It's just, yeah, as to Brendan's point, later this year, like this kind of talk, it's not great for Apple. Down 0.5% with the market right now, so it's not really super exciting for me as a day trade. But yeah, let's see. If they ever got down to 190, I think where we had some of these, actually that's 193. So maybe that comes into play today. This level, if the market really, bleeds a little bit here, 195 to 193 for Apple looks to be a good buy area, right? I mean, that brings us all the way back to April 22nd, so back about a month and a bit, right back into these levels. I think that's reasonable for a dip buy. But look at the 50-period moving average. That's the thing that holds the whole key right now. We only spent 4 days above it, and then all the rest here since March has been underneath. So definitely not performing well. And as Brendan mentioned, man, kind of in the same area it's been for the last year and a half, 2 years. So yeah, for me on Apple right now, kind of just wait and see. Let's wait for that next iPhone to come through, and let's wait for the futures to do something that gives us more of an idea here. So yeah, man, sticky note is now out. What's up, Pelosi's Insider here? We'll check that out. And yeah, so Apple not on there. Boeing looks good today. DraftKings has an interesting story to it as well. Boeing, I believe, with the upgrade, obviously, as written on the board there and brought to you by Dara earlier. We looked at that. Let's go find out the story. Then we'll talk about the charts as it's breaking highs.
Yeah, finally some positive moves here for analysts anyways on Boeing. It's B of A Securities upgrading Boeing to a buy, going to 260 on the price target. So that caused that nice spike here this morning in the pre-market. Nice day going back to Thursday of last week on that China note as well. So if you zoom out on Boeing, starting to look pretty good.
Yeah, they're getting a bunch of orders. Donald Trump kind of using Boeing here in his trade diplomacy, so to speak. So as you mentioned, Brendo, Bank of America upgrading Boeing, $260 price target. That's the highest on Wall Street, guys. So street high, which implies a $9 share increase in free cash flow, up from the previous target of 185. They've had a lot of operational progress under new CEO Kelly Ortberg, who's been in basically since August as the key turnaround driver. Boeing has resolved that 53-day labor strike that plagued them. They've also improved safety systems, realigned their business portfolio, and they've had a trade tailwind here. As I mentioned, Boeing is benefiting from recent aircraft orders from the United Kingdom, Qatar, the UAE, China, and B of A sees Boeing as a favored trade mechanism under the Trump administration with a role in future global trade deals. Production and recovery is in sight here, so analysts expect Boeing to start ramping up their 737 production to about 38 jets per month in Q4. Don't forget, though, guys, they were subject to production caps under the FAA, so they have to get FAA approval before they can do that. And last but not least here, they're pursuing a $10.6 billion sale of their digital aviation solution unit aimed at preserving its investment-grade credit rating. But we can expect more of this, Brendo. So Bank of America specifically, they expect more divestitures to fund core operations and enhance financial flexibility.
Yeah, we'll see if we get follow through on that. Why don't we just cover DraftKings here real quick in case we run out of time. Downside here, as we said, on pretty light volume, though, 5.3% for DraftKings, state of Illinois, with a new per bet fee for online wagers, starting at 25 cents for the first 20 million, going up to 50 cents per bet after that. And again, it's not about necessarily Illinois, but just in case everyone else says, okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, and it's only going to be two companies that fall under the threshold. There has to be a minimum 20 million wagers. So here's the deal. It's going to be FanDuel and DraftKings. So the big ones are going to get hit 25 cents per wager up to 20 million wagers, and then 50 cents per wager beyond that threshold. Again, DraftKings and FanDuel's. So this is the kind of the scary part here, and this is what I was telling the guys on the floor. The effective tax rate here could be about 50+% when you include the taxes as well as the adjoined fees. That's already up, Brendo, from 35%, which was already up from the 15% we had in 24. So you could tell, they're trying to shore up some balance sheets here using the online gambling.
Getting expensive to operate for some of these platforms, guys. A couple minutes to go here. Thoughts on a couple things here, Boeing and DraftKings.
I might just buy the long there. We're discussing Palantir, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Because Palantir is going upside now, trying to break through that top end of 132. That actually looks fantastic. All right, so there's Boeing. I mean, Boeing looks the same way, man. I mean, trying to take it out. These names actually look pretty. Not identical, because every chart's going to look a lot different, but breaking through these highs. Palantir's looking at all-time highs. These are looking at local highs right there. Boeing, a great story. Looks like it wants to go one more time. Whenever you get this kind of a gap, we wait for fades back to VWAP, but we're already there. So you go down to the 200 period, maybe 209 coming into play for Boeing. I mean, I've mentioned this stock months ago when we sort of talked about this China tariff issue, and I thought that China could throw some olive branches out with Boeing. It looks like the Saudis did that, and Boeing's been going since then. Really good level here of 208.50. Back into some of these levels. I mean, they're all right here. Just a matter of, do we think it actually takes out that high? There's 211. Yeah, I think it does. I think a break of 211 today is a great look. We're probably getting there immediately. I think this DraftKings is just blah, blah, blah. I like the long in this name. Obviously being down 5% today, I think you want to let it settle down. You know, this is still a relatively new business or industry, I should say. The business goes back hundreds of years, gambling, but online and all these approvals, there's still a lot of states that still need to get going here with DraftKings as well. So back into these levels, I just think it's more of a buy. $32, I'm going to wait for that. Once we get into $32, we'll start to look at this more seriously, start to pick up some more shares. I'm in this name, but not in it too heavy in these levels. So I like the stock. I like what we're doing here with Boeing or with DraftKings. Just today, it's going to be a tough one. Cliff, buy. BBAI, sell. Other than that, there's not a whole heck of a lot on here that's going to be of interest to us off the open. So Big Bear, I didn't even look at this today, probably below $4 again if my chart loads. Yeah, rate at 4, so we'll watch out for this name. I'm not too interested in it today being down 3%, but that's what's on the imbalance locator. Palantir to me is pretty interesting here at 132, man. So watch out for that high break early. It could fade back and absolutely crush us, but we'll wait to see what happens with Palantir here early. Definitely worth the punch long, I think.
Yeah, I think, again...
Almost time. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Boeing I'll be watching to see if we kind of break through some of those prior highs. Again, looking for that breakout. Hopefully the fuselage stays in one piece. We don't lose any wheels on takeoff, but that's what I'll be looking for. 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah, we're now open. Okay, here goes Palantir.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're going to watch out. Tesla ripping upside as well. Here goes Palantir. We're going to watch to see if we do get that 132 break right now. We're going to play for that. Google, everything ripping. There it is, man. We are now long on Palantir right now. Wow. Good long for us. All the way in the money now. 50-plus cents, man. We have 05s, and we are absolutely rocking right now. Will it continue to go higher? Maybe it will. 1.5 times daily goal made. It's 9:30 and 30 seconds right there. Your first dollar club is getting ready to be in the building. There it goes right now with Palantir. Oh boy, Obi, this is that trade for me right now. We're just going to see if we can get some more out. But there it goes. Nice start to the day on the trade that we gave to you live, man. I said I'm looking at one. Brendan threw it over here. So did Sharif. They're like, let's talk Boeing. I'm like, what about Palantir? There goes Palantir. Let's go. Yes, sir. This is the hot dog cannon of the day right now, man. I mean, it's a nice little dollar to start the day. 2 times daily goal met right now, Obi. And there it goes. Let's just keep on letting this thing fly. We're still in 1/3 of this trade. There it goes, man. It is elevation time right now. It is June. June has arrived with a $2 winner right off the jump there. We're long Palantir at 132.05.
Oh boy, look at this. This is some crazy action coming in right off of the open there. Yeah, what a wild ride on Palantir here as we push. Wow, 134.
I'm done. That's it.
God.
Obi, the rest of the show is yours. Let's go. Let's go get some tacos. What do you guys want to have for taco for lunch? What are we going to be doing right now? Nice move up there. Batty out. Oh yeah, that's right. We have that bet that we're doing. We have that bet. Me and Joe have a bet here. Oh, it's Batty out. No, we're doing beer. Florida versus Edmonton. I know. Can you believe that it hasn't even started yet? The series doesn't even start till Wednesday. What do you mean Game 7? Oh, if it goes up, yeah, the bet goes higher. Okay, let's just keep going, man. We're really excited. There it goes. There goes the Nasdaq is ripped city right now. So what is Tesla doing right there already? So it's already a $2 club. There goes Tesla, 345 and change. They're ripping to the high side as well. What did Apple do with 2 bills? What are you in? Oh, you're in the same trade?
Yeah.
Oh, you're in 133s. Okay, that's good.
I got back in. That's the thing. I took that initial scalp and I got back in looking for a potential continuation. We are kind of bouncing off of a little bit of a moving average for now, but what an absolutely crazy opening drive. Not only on Palantir, man. Take a look at Apple. We talked about that Apple move. Look at the Nasdaq. Look at the ES. The Nasdaq breaking out like aggressively here. So that tailwind definitely coming in. Can we break that 134? Sean, it looks almost imminent as we're trying to print that last quarter there. Can we get above those 75s? 134s, 135s. Oh boy, this market is absolutely crazy. We're coming back into that 21,500 here, potentially, if we break that 21.4 on the Nasdaq. There's that 134 push. Oh boy. Oh boy. Indeed. Have you seen Palantir, Randy, today? Absolutely crazy. Straight to the upside.
Oh boy, Randy. Oh boy.
Brisket trade?
Oh man,
Brisket trade
it's
indeed.
some kind of a trade.
Yeah.
It's a trade.
Brisket.
Yeah, exactly, Obi. Good job. Yeah, I mean, this is just
It's just
ripping.
going, like,
we
dude,
love.
like, why
Where's
don't we
my
have
hat?
more?
What the hell
We gotta
hat am I
have
even
more.
wearing today?
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Why? What am I doing? There it is. Yeah, you got to be wearing the Palantir hat today, bro.
I mean, we've got it on now.
It's okay. We're in it for the continuation. We're in it for
Here
the
we go.
continuation.
Here we go, man. All right, so I'm only in a quarter of this still. I don't know, really through the moon with this trade. Obviously, we've almost hit 3 times daily goal, and it's just a nice little move to the high side right there. But let's go back over. Yeah, a little bit of a move there. It just happened so fast, Randy. It was incredible. But look at Tesla too. 342 open, all the way to 347. These are our levels right now that we're looking at. Do we even want to stand here right now on Tesla? This is the level that we wrote down, man. 347 to 348. This came in here real quick. I was thinking about all this kind of levels, but there's the drop down. We know that Tesla can have this kind of a move. That's on an imbalanced trade, so I don't want to think about that. But 347.50, that was the level that we wrote down, man, between 347 to 348. So maybe we just go short 347.50, and if it breaks 348, then we'll get out. Let's do that right now on Tesla, but we still got to make sure we get more out of our Palantir trade. But Tesla, we nailed that one completely. It's on the sticky note, 347 to 348. That's been the high so far. Let's try it right there. Google's coming back to 170 right now as well as that name, Randy, blowing up. There's lots of stuff happening right here, right now. And good thing we were able to cash out a decent amount of that. But here comes Google upside as well. So yeah, this has been wild.
Yeah, I got totally out of that Palantir there. Absolutely aggressive push. Again, I was a little slow getting into that 132, but that aggressive bid came in not only on Palantir, across the board there. So beautiful tailwind for that kind of push there. So didn't really, follow my plan to the T there on Palantir, but again, managed to take some pieces off there through the 133 and then reload as it pulls back in and holds. I was like, it's moving and it's holding a moving average. Again, if you guys were watching, I don't know which move, if it aligns with this, but again, I just had a little bit of an anchored pin to the open. As soon as I saw that crazy strength, I'm like, all right, VWAP's going to get left behind. I need to throw an anchored on this opening volume here. So it actually beautifully pulls back into the anchor and then gives us that second leg through that 134 for a quick push there. So a nice little scalp on that one, but now kind of disconnected with the rest of the market as the Nasdaq and the ES scream to the upside. Look at Google take flight to the upside. 170s incoming right here, and that VWAP coming in now on Palantir. So selling kind of stepping in. Did we false break some of those prior highs? I don't know just yet, but that 133 halves is what I'm watching for to see if it'll hold sustainably. 132 halves here on P-Pro VWAP. So going to be watching that one. Oh boy, 21,400 just blasting through that buying pressure coming in very, very aggressively. So shout out to anybody who had the opening drive on Palantir. Probably one of the top opportunities on the day. But if you're trading futures, oh boy, that was quite a move as well. NVDA, man, NVIDIA as well. We talked about watching that end of day consolidation rate. I was looking for that selling. Boom. There it is.
We're back in. Yeah, we have a new position right now on Tesla. So there it is. Now we took the trade that we wanted. We're short 347.60. This is where it is. Let's just see if we can get down to the downside. We just covered some at 347 flat right there. Just 50 quick cents because we're still long Palantir and short on Tesla. So I'm not sure that that's going to be the trade. Oh, there's Tesla right there. Not sure if this is going to be the trade for us. But there goes Palantir, man. Right back to 132. Right back to where it's been before. We're now short Google. We're short Tesla. But we're still long Palantir. There goes Palantir now breaking lower. We talked about only having a quarter left, and then we were dumping it on the way back out as we broke through 133. So a great out on that top side there, Obi, for you. Let's watch out for that bottom right now, 131.90 or so. If we break lower than that, I didn't even have a chance to put on my stop order when we got this. So let's go 131.89. We'll just stop out of it all if that is what winds up happening. We've got a big trade alert right here as well, guys, on Google. So there it goes on Google as we're short, exactly where we said we wanted to get short. Here's another 50 cents for us. We just got to make sure we grab it, get back into the downside right there for us on Google. We just missed that 25. Again, a lot of shares, a lot of different names I'm looking at right now in these three positions in a very, very aggressive market. So let's get some more out here on Palantir as it just came right back up into 133. Remember where our stop was? We almost got stopped out. If anything, that was a reload. But here we go, man. We do wind up taking that 50 cents. So it is a day right now for us right here. There's 50 cents on Google. Hopefully we can get lower than that. Palantir's still going. And then Tesla, we didn't get out of everything, obviously. But if this breaks through 348, then we can get out. This is the one that, you know, is a little bit of a nervous Nancy for me because it is near those levels. Wow, Palantir right now is just absolutely on fire. Take advantage of that. Get more out here on the upside as we fade out on some other names. But there it goes. We're at our highest spot right now of the day as Tesla now 80 cents in the money. Palantir $1.50 in the money. And then Google, we're waiting for that one to settle out, but we did already take some profit. So yeah, man, so far so good here on the day. But watch out now. Google looks to break 170 high side. So our trades of the day, Tesla, Google, and Palantir. Pretty proud of those. Just looking at our notes, though, to see where we go. There goes Tesla right now. Nice downside push as well. What up, A?
Here is Nucor. Keep an eye on this one. NUE really strong this morning. It got an upgrade this morning from BMO Capital, which we talked about on the upgrades and downgrades segment. And of course, Donald Trump, President of the United States, announcing an increase on steel tariffs from 25% to 50% set to go into effect this week. Keep an eye on APLD as well. This one apparently signing 2 15-year leases with CoreWeave. I'm going to pull this up here, APLD. That would be Applied Digital. Apparently, this is expected to generate roughly $7 billion in total revenue. So good look here for APLD this morning. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Dara. So Palantir coming back into that 34 here. Kind of wick highs at that 34.5, so just keeping a close eye on it as it kind of consolidates and rips back up to those highs. Futures are aggressively strong. Wow, there is some selling coming in. This thing is ripping 50 pennies both ways, so I do want to stay wary on that one there. Still holding up. I'm actually surprised we actually got all the way back up here after such a strong top wick there on those highs. But again, if it's going to consolidate, if it's going to come back here and consolidate, and prices are accepted a little higher, I do want to stay wary here. As again, that market tailwind, we're pushing against that market tailwind as of right now here on
taking $8 out of the market
on Palantir. So other things that are running again. I'm waiting for them to slow down. Tesla. NVDA, absolutely beautiful there. Strong push. Google as well. Google pushing all the way up. 202.13 highs on Apple there, kind of wicking that prior day, end of day run that we had off of those imbalances. We wick off of those highs and taking a little bit of a pullback here. Wow, that is some strength here on Palantir. So definitely don't want to be on the wrong side of this move. I will stay light and tight unless and until it kind of really starts to come in and I can start getting some potential confirmations here. But yeah, sometimes I find that if I'm waiting for confirmation, that's way too late. There's a lot of not a lot of space to kind of do some business there after confirmation. What do you got going on?
This has been the day. I just said, Sharif goes, what's going on over there, right? And I'm just like, this is what's going on. Tesla, 347 to 348 short. So right now, this is $2.50 in the money. That's all that we did. It was up here. We started it. We got it. We told you plan by plan. You know, this is what we're doing, and that's what we did. And then we told you already, Google 170 short. That's 50 cents in the money. We'll look at Cliffs, and there's Palantir. We'll look at all of these together. But right now, man, there's Tesla. Tesla joins the. No, not that club. Tesla joins the dollar club right now with two of them now in the money for this as we continue to go lower here on the day. I'm starting to get a little lighter on all these plays, man. I mean, it's been cooking right here. I'm going to put another bid right now in the 70s. See if we just got it there on Tesla. We still do have a big push to the downside if it wants to go into 343. So let's just hold on to that. Let's get out to some more Palantir. I have about 7% of Palantir left, but if I'm sort of thinking a little bit sell side right now, all right, let me just exit out. Okay, well, All right, well, we just got some 133s there. I wasn't sure we were going to get that, but there it goes. So we're just going to be kind of chill with all of this now. We do have it now. We're $1 in the money on this name too. So there goes Google now. So all three plays we've had are dollar clubs. So with more than that. Tesla, $2. Palantir was 3, I think, at the high, maybe. I don't know if we got that high. How high did we get for Palantir? Yeah, 134. That was 250 there. And then Tesla is looking, I think, to get a lot lower. So let's wait to see. And there goes Google right now, breaking through 169. So again, join me on this every single day, man. Sticky note, it's at Trader TV, Sean. You can go find it right there and give it a like, give it everything you can, share it and all that. Get the more people that see these trades, the better it could be. So there it is right there for the profile. Just easy. And then I explain a little bit of what we were looking at. And again, I said under 350, we had a weak top resistance there. Google the 170 short. We talked about why we liked that. It was down 2% in the pre-market. We didn't want to chase. We wanted to fade strength. Well, I mean, pretty much that's like exactly what wound up happening. We don't chase the move. We let it go up and then we fade that strength out. So there it comes in right back into the 200 period. So let's just keep this good times rolling here on the market, Obi. I mean, you're in this Google short with me, so we like this position.
Great price there. I kind of hesitated on that pushback through solid price, that 169.79. So yeah, false break of that. Not really false break, but like failure to follow through into that 170 as of right now. I chased into it a little bit. We're kind of above that VWAP. So again, maybe not the best prices, but willing to get involved once again. If we're going to hold that VWAP as of right now a bit up, I do want to get out of that one. There again, not the best prices chasing into it. It was funny enough. I punched into the bid and I only got part filled for less than 50% of the position. I'm like, oh boy, all right, well, might be something to watch out for. But let's see what Adair has to say with some economic numbers.
So we're waiting on here in just 17 seconds is the S&P manufacturing PMI number for May. That will be our first economic number of the day, week, and month. So 52.3 is what we're expecting. That's also the previous print here, 52.3. At 10 a.m., we'll get the more closely watched ISM manufacturing PMI as well. So 52 is our print for the S&P manufacturing PMI, slightly below the forecast and previous print, both of which were 52.3. So 52 versus 52.3. Here's the S&P 500, potentially making a slightly lower high here, but we've had a really nice, strong push for these futures. Let's pull up the Nasdaq as well to see how that's performing. Relatively the same here for the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Let's see if this early strength continues. And again, remember, 10 a.m., we do have that ISM manufacturing PMI. Back to you.
All right, there's 348, there's 345 right there on on Tesla. So good little pricing there as we just fell back in. I just got a little bit more out there at 346, but we are ticking down. We just bounced off 345. Let me put something at like 345.11 or something right there. We'll put down like 5% of what we have left. We are really starting to get out of everything. I just got out of some more Palantir up here. I don't know. I'm just trying to. Sometimes if I'm flat, it'd give me like another little bit of a, interest to look at other things right now other than just the positions that we're in. So let's just wait to see. I think the market bleeds out a little bit more for us. So I don't even want to, I don't have any more bids at Tesla other than that 345 flat. So if we can bounce off there, that's close enough to VWAP for me, which is at 344.70. So here we come in right now. This would be $2.80. So there it is. So there's $2.80 in the money right there. Now we're going $3 on Tesla. We're $1. We're everywhere right now. So let's just wait to see if we can get a downside push. All right, what's going on with Cliffs? All right, it bounces completely off 7. Again, the level we wrote down was 7. So let's just wait to see what winds up happening there. If you're looking for, any of these kind of trade ideas, it's not just Mag 7 for me, man. We had Cliffs written down on that same note that I keep showing you for $7. So that came right in there as well. The other levels that we wrote down was Lira. I don't know about this one. We wrote down $27. Let's go find out if that, are you kidding me right now? That bounced off 28. Oh, man. Wow. So we are $1 away from LYRA as well, as that's now ticking up. We said this name would halt, and there it is, man. Right away, on the first 10 minutes, we halt already and open back up. LYRA starting to kick again to the upside. And then another name. That's it, man. We had Google, Tesla, LYRA, Palantir. And then I did want to look at Uber because I thought that they could be a fade at some point as well here today. Oh, boy. We are really... by the way, this is now $4 in the money on Tesla. As we come right, okay, Obi, I need to take another piece out here. I said I wouldn't be doing that for too much. But there it is, man. That is your now $4 club as the Bears just continue to ride higher right now. We're on one there. This has been great. Great to have Obi here. We'll have Neil back tomorrow, but this has been a destruction of these kind of trades today for myself. Glad we sort of been using some more shares and starting to get back there to the upside. Oh boy, Obi, this has been a great start. One of my best starts of the year for sure. We'll go 3 for 3 and just nail these names.
Yeah, great trading there. Pretty much sniping some of those tops on a lot of those. I guess you had the Google, you had the Tesla as well. So I think it's pretty solid entry.
They look like snipes. They look like the absolute top, but they weren't. I was sitting there.
Okay. Oh, so you were sitting there,
dude. This is what we're talking about. These are all the levels exactly listed on here. We have 3. What's the high of Tesla today? 348.03. Obi. This says 347 to 348 short, and right now it's $5. Like it's these levels just came in. I do get nervous. So the first trade that I take when I'm sitting there is like half a unit, and then if it starts to go,
so
that's the key for me today because we're able to average into it. So
yeah, I gotta start doing that. It's like if I expect sellers to be at a certain place, maybe kind of be there and sit there.
Stick with me, Obi.
Conviction. Yeah, for sure, man. I still got a lot to learn, Sean.
Oh, so do I.
But, Google coming back in here. Market's taking a little bit of a pullback here, so finally a little bit of a breather after some aggressive push there. We got past that 21,400, got all the way up to 21,460, and then taking a little bit of a pullback here on the Nasdaq. Softy still pretty strong there, attempting to push its highs on the day. Here comes the VWAP right there. So there we go. VWAP kind of, I was sitting there with a little bit as we got in. Like I said before, I tried to punch that Google as we broke down below that 169 halves. And guess what? I only got partial filled for about, I'd say about less than 50 for sure. I think it's around 30 to 40% of the position. I'm like, all right, well, clearly sellers definitely pushed into it pretty aggressively because I did cross pretty nicely into that, and that's perfectly fine. That gives me some more conviction to see and wait to see if any sort of bids start getting sold into. And guess what? That's working out quite well there. There's a slam down on Palantir. Oh boy, Palantir short. Yeah, I had to hold that Palantir short as well, man. Absolutely wild. So as we come into this VWAP area and some of these prior consolidations, I'm going to take off this Google as it's looking at me with over 70 pennies right here. Market's taken now about a 50% pullback off of that initial 15-minute candle. Oh boy, what a beautiful reversion on that one there, coming in beautifully. And wow, that Tesla going through day low. Beautiful short on Tesla, Sean. That's the one I had to probably be on, but I like the Google. The Google was nice, and I guess the futures as well. The ES taking out almost its full first 15-minute candle there. So ES a little bit better of a reversion in terms of a percent retracement versus the Nasdaq here. But again, where's the next trade? That's what I'm looking for. This Google's working out pretty well, kind of consolidating here around VWAP. So I'm going to take most of it off here. I got to do a little bit better with following my rules of like, okay, if it gets to your target, if the target is VWAP, take off 30 to 60%. Depending on how it got there, I'd say, and then kind of reassess for continuation as well. But yeah, Google down at VWAP. Let's see if we can catch some of that buying that we saw off of the open once again. If not, I'm going to be looking for that day low potentially to come in on Google, and that's sitting at 167.40s here as of right now. So nice shorts across the board. Sean's sitting in some of the best ones though.
Thank you, Obi. Appreciate that. Yeah, and again, I mean, our top 2 trade ideas are the trades that we're in right now. So it's Google 170, it's Tesla 348, and there goes the drip, man. I mean, this is dripping. Here goes Google. I'm glad you're in this, obviously, with me as well, and we were both hitting Palantir. So yeah, man, some big trade alerts happening for Obi and myself. It's not too bad that Neil's coming. It's too bad that we'll miss you in the next couple of days. But thanks for joining, everybody. You know, if you're not hitting the like or subscribe today, then I'm not even really sure what is going on. I'm going to refresh this feed.
There's the Nasdaq.
There it is. Holy shit! We just got 340 on Tesla. I didn't even. You could make your whole year. Like, you just got to be a little right, Obi.
The liquidity's there.
A little right goes a long way.
Liquidity's there.
You know, don't look right, look left. But there it is, man. Nice move to the downside here for, oh my. All right, that's a fact. Jack, says Mike DeRider. What's up, Mike DeRider? What's up, everybody in the chat right now? We are just absolutely propsing up everybody today. It's $2 in the money on Google. It's $8 in the money on Tesla. My number one stock today, P&L-wise, is Palantir. You know, we're going to make a triple on Palantir than we did on anything else today. It was just an aggressive break higher on Palantir. We got out once it broke for flat. So once it broke 132, we got out there. So we're out of that one. But it's Tesla now that's $8.50 in the money as we start going downside. $8.50 there. Google also. Let's check out LYRA again, just for everybody looking at that. LYRA is now halted to the downside. So again, I'm not getting too much news in my ear about anything right here yet today. So, you know, as the news sort of piles in here, we've got Adara here, we've got everything. So we'll continue to watch this. But I do note that LYRA is now short sell, well, it's short sell restricted. It's up 54%. You're going to have to pay for shorts. Sorry, is what I'm getting at here. Limited short float on LYRA. Just so everybody's aware, I'm in less than 10% of both of these positions now. So Google, a little bit more on Google, but still, let me get out of one more piece here on Google. About 10% left on both of these. So we have emptied out the clip here for my best morning, probably of the year. So it's been a good one there. We've done well there. Let's just look for some more. ARM, Google, SMH. Yeah, let's check out. You know, it's now 10 o'clock, 5 to 10, and I haven't even looked at NVIDIA yet. NVIDIA bouncing off of the VWAP right there. That could be a trade for sure. Nasdaq also bouncing off VWAP OB. So that, you know, we are getting to a level where there is a possibility of some decent pickups now for the long, if the long is going to work. We've already given it all back. We had that huge move early, given it all back, and now we're resting on VWAP at basically the pre-market break levels. We still need a little work to get back down into those areas, but this is why I'm starting to clean up some of these trades, right? We just took another, we did not get Google. I thought maybe we did. Let me bid Google right there at 38. Hopefully we can.
Is going off.
What do they want to do? Lira's a beast.
Mine was just like reloading. I think I just saw it rip up, and I was like, wow, this is about a chat speed 7. You know how like if you grade like tape speed, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty fast there. I thought it was coming in hot, but I think it was just like refreshing there. But solid trading there by Sean.
Holy,
great
Tesla.
Great hold as well. As again, the futures come in.
Dude, Tesla just cranked another $1.
Yeah.
It's way more aggressive.
Breaking through that 340. Yeah, it just keeps slapping that bid there, man. That's absolutely wild.
Holy dude.
But, yeah. Oh boy.
We do have numbers, OB coming out. We're not going to go to Adara. Are we going to Adara?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's go to Adara now. We do have numbers, I believe, at 10 also, but let's go to Adara.
Don't worry, guys. I will give you those numbers, but I want to keep people's eyes on some small caps if you're looking for things that aren't necessarily going down with the rest of the market. NVDA, this is Nuvve Holdings. It's rallied in the past, no catalyst, but a 2.93 million share float, 9% short float. Then we have an even smaller float here, an INM. This one, nice bounce here off the open. This is InMed Pharmaceuticals, also no news, but just under 1 million share float. So sub-million share float here for INM. You're going to want to as well, APLD, strong earlier today. This is another one to keep an eye on here. Apply Digital, we know they had a CoreWeave related catalyst. And last but not least, CLF. All of these steel names here, especially CLF and NUE on watch after Donald Trump announced plans to double steel tariffs from 25% to 50%. ISM manufacturing PMI at 10. Stay tuned. Back to you.
I'm just telling Obi, like, I'm not even sure what to do with this Tesla. Like $9 in the money as it just continues to go down. And we were just sort of saying that the Palantir trade for me is still going to be P&L number one. We'll wind up making about double on Palantir than I will on Tesla. Like if I flatted Tesla right now, this would still be double the net for me. And just look at all of the outs. It just ripped up, and before we could even blink, we were in the money 50 cents. And it just kept on going and going and going. And then nice move again to the upside there for Palantir. So yeah, I really did appreciate that move. We did get right back into all-time highs again for Palantir, and it actually looks like we cracked them, right? So that used to be 133.50. Today's Palantir trade created a brand new all-time high at 134 and change, which is why we switched up our hat. I might put the other hat on because although I like this hat, the other one brought me maybe good luck because we were able to grab that. Okay, there it is. There it is. Tesla, Adara, all is absolutely like, to me, this was not a move that I was expecting like after that kind of a bump early. Like the buyers came in and really rallied Tesla. And if you just rewind this stream to 8:45, this is what I was saying. Can we get, I mean, it's written down there so you could go see it anyways. But we were talking about getting into this level. When it did, I was pretty uncertain about it because of that rip up. But you always, I've learned to sort of trust yourself as much as you possibly can. Try to zone out that noise. Often Obi and I, not often, but I noticed last week we were going against each other. And it's like you got to stick sometimes to what you're thinking and just stay, you know, level-minded there and understand that anything can really happen at any time in this market. So, you know, that's why we started with this note. It was just about to give some ideas. And now we're $11 in the money, by the way, on this Tesla, as it just continues to move lower here. So big day alert for me on this one. It's just a nice move to the downside here for TSLA. Really enjoying this. So there it goes, man. Tesla, Palantir, and then Google. And again, they're all right here. If you guys want to hit over, you know, check out the note. It's all right here. Tesla, Google, Palantir, Cliffs, and Lyra. I guess, on there as well. Let me just check out Cleveland Cliffs just really quickly, 750. So again, we had written down $7 where the 200 period was. Unfortunately, we're a little caught up in those trades, so we do not have that. Bitcoin is really starting to go to the downside, though, 103.7 right now. We only have one more minute to go. Do you want to talk about your Google? What's your plan of action here? I mean, we got to go over and get that PMI number.
Yeah, this market's coming in hot. Again, I have, I guess, way less than 10% left of the move there. I covered a decent chunk, 168 halves, and then on top of 168 as well. Again, shorting into that 169 half break. Bit of a quick trend break scalp on that one there as that buying pressure starts to dissipate. But again, here a little bit of slowdown of the selling as well. So I got out of a decent chunk. Palantir, though, oh boy, coming in to day lows as it gets crushed through that 130. But right now we got numbers with Dara.
Bye bye Palantir.
We do have numbers here, including ISM manufacturing PMI, the more closely watched of the PMI numbers. S&P manufacturing PMI just slightly below estimates. Let's see what happens with ISM. We're expecting 49.5. We're also getting here construction spending month over month. 0.2% is the expected print. So here we get lower than expected ISM manufacturing PMI, 48.5 versus, of course, the forecast of 49.5. This number is also below the previous print of 48.7. Manufacturing prices paid a little bit higher than expected. Construction spending month over month lower than expected, so negative 0.4% versus positive 0.2% expected. So again, lower than expected ISM manufacturing PMI and construction spending. Nasdaq just keeps grinding lower here. We did a nice pop up the open, but we could not sustain it. Here is TSLA. Now, the catalyst we had for this morning were very mixed sales numbers for May. They were up significantly year over year in Norway, down about 50% in Sweden, and they were also down a little bit in Spain as well. So TSLA sales numbers right now sending it to the downside. Then we have AAPL, one of many names that got some analyst notes this morning. Apple on watch ahead of its WWDC, Worldwide Developer Conference, next week. Make sure to like and subscribe. Back to you.
Wow, this market kind of just continuing even more aggressively off of that. So some continuation off the numbers. So not only have we retraced 100% of that pop on the ES did it a little faster than much faster than the Nasdaq there, but now the Nasdaq coming through as well. The ES coming all the way back down. Google, I'm watching at its day lows, or not at its day lows, trying to attempt to get closer and closer through its day lows there. Tesla, though, oh boy, I think is continuing to print fresh day lows. Amazon just broke it a few minutes ago there, and Amazon's coming into prior day lows that's sitting at 201.69. So I'm going to be watching that one there as well. Again, some of those prior day lows is where we got that strong bid going into the close. So maybe those are levels to maybe watch for those tickers that still have those levels within range. Again, if you look at something like a Tesla, we already broke that at that 345 level. So that was a good place to kind of look for that back through prior day low, back through below prior day low after attempting to break through it on Tesla. But that was really nice. Let me know in the chat what you guys are trading. Let's take a quick look at some of the other tickers that I had on watch off of the open today. Again, I kind of mentioned some of those. I had Disney on watch as well. Oh boy, so Disney, if you look at a higher time frame, attempting to kind of break out as well. So, okay, you know what? I want to take a little bit of a cover here on the Google as it trades below that 169. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, no, UiPath, oh boy. So that was another ticker as well. Let me pull up the chart here as I talk about some of these so you guys can take a quick look at them alongside. So UiPath, this one, earnings day 2 for this one. I was like, all right, maybe potential continuation. Guess what? I was like, prior day low. Very simple idea, very simple plan. Get involved with prior day low for the technical breakdown because of how it set up yesterday. Pretty much strong selling off of the open, dead cat bounce, bit of a flat consolidation near the lows. And that breakdown came in quite nicely, gave you about 30 pennies off of a quick scalp on the break, but I wasn't really involved in that one. Dell was another one for a potential continuation, and oh boy, Dell came in real nice. Look at this is what I'm talking about. Prior day low breakdowns I had as execution sets for a few of these trades for continuation, and they're working out quite nice. I was not necessarily involved in them, but that's something I got to do a little bit better with. But yeah, some strong continuations happening here. Palantir, of course, coming into some of those prior day levels as well. So let's take a look at that. So Palantir, I had.
Oh yeah, I wrote down some levels for that.
End of day, yeah. So like that 128, that little consolidation before we got that aggressive push right here. This is just a 15-minute chart. So can we get all the way down to 128? I have no idea. Pre-market lows coming in just shy of that 129 at 128.80s. So we're pulling back into that 130 as of right now. So let's see what that 130 entails for us. But a little bit of a false break maybe of yesterday's or prior trading days, double top if you want to call it. That test of that 131, 130, high 130s area is what I'm talking about. That was an aggressive bid both times into those highs, and then we did break out off of the open. But as of right now, this is, I would say, a little bit of a false break, but within the overall trend as well to the upside. So a little confusing there, but I want to keep that one on watch. Apple, oh boy, coming into its day lows as of right now. So let's see if that one will come into fruition. Let's go to a 3-minute chart. What a beautiful, beautiful reversion here. Selling just steps in on the at 9:33 and hasn't really stopped since after that. So the first 5-minute range getting broken or about to get broken as of right now on Apple. Let's see if that'll come in here. 200 has been an interesting level, as we mentioned earlier on in the pre-market session. Wow, Tesla, a little bit of a bounce there off of 35s. Let me keep eyes on this one here. Again, aggressive selling, very directional. What do I like? I like reversions. Let's see if this selling has dissipated for a potential reversion back up. There's that push back up on Google as well, and as well as the markets. This 15-minute candle is catching a little bit of a bottom wick. Let's see if we can catch any sort of reversions back to the upside. I got eyes on Tesla for sure, as it is slightly a little overextended to the downside.
Yeah, for sure. We just covered some more Tesla. Actually, I mean, look at this bottom tick that we have. Like we were just sitting there at 336. So again, got pretty good to get that. We got pretty good to get Google. And again, Google was an interesting one because Google was actually pretty easy. Actually, not interesting because it just came in today's low. So once it came into the pre-market low there, that's where we covered another piece. Well, here it comes right back in again, right there. So there goes another one for us. Yeah, here with Google, it looks like. Let's see if it can really fade out right now. So we are very, very light in all these positions. So that means we have to look for something else, like I keep saying. So let's just do that. I was talking about Bitcoin a little bit, and then we kind of got distracted because we had to have that number. So, yeah, the number PMI there came out. Dara just grabbed that for us. Let me just review one more time for everybody. I'm just kind of reviewing for myself, too, to be honest with you here, because I was looking elsewhere. Right there, SPY. There it is right there. 48.5 versus 49, so a little lower on that side. 69 prices paid for 70. So both on the lower side for the PMI number. So that's okay. I don't worry too much about its manufacturing PMI there. So we'll wait to see if it gets this market going. It doesn't look like it wants to. It brought the market back up to VWAP there before fading once again. Like I mentioned, I did buy some of this market on Friday, but needless to say, that not working out the greatest right now, although I think it's okay because we did have that rally back upside. IBIT, I would always look to see about breaking again lower. So this is from Friday. So if again, this is not going to take in consideration all the movement in crypto throughout the weekend, but it definitely is looking at where we were from Friday. We just bounced off 59, basically. That's where we are right now, but that 58.90, look for a break of IBIT 58.85. So let's see if we can break that. That's going to be my next trade, I think. And then Palantir right here as well. What about a break of 131, the 200 period moving average? I really like that break as well. So we're going to wait to see if we can get any action in and around those levels too. So 131 coming in for Palantir. That's a break long for me. If that can happen, breaking through the 200 period right there. Other than that, let's just wait to see how these things settle down. Tesla, right now, man, 5% left of Tesla, so we don't have a whole whole bunch of shares left on this one. So let's just give it a second to see if we can't, you know, get a little bit of a better price, maybe up in here near VWAP. So we're just going to let this all calm down. But right now, yeah, it's a nice trade there for TSLA and everything else happening there. So I do want that Palantir play. Intel's flashing on my screener right now for some reason. 1958 doesn't really, maybe just breaking through these highs. So we'll have to wait to see if Intel does that basically now at the open market high, which is kind of strange considering where the market is. Intel's up 1.13 right now. And yeah, there it is. So we opened up right here on Intel, actually made that nice move down, not much volume. And then now we're trying to take out that intraday high again, 1960. So watch out for some strength coming back in Intel. There goes the market with a nice little pop, Obi.
Yeah, a little bit of a bounce coming in here. I'm watching that Tesla push as well.
Yeah, it's got another piece on Tesla.
235.50. Yeah, you can see like the selling starting to dissipate as well there on Tesla. So I do have eyes on it. A little bit of trend break potentially incoming. Dell as well, I got eyes on. But yeah, nothing else too crazy just yet. Spider, what is that up to? Okay, so catching a little bit of a bounce on the Spider from off of that 585.06. Okay, interesting stuff here. But yeah, this is catching a strong bottom wick on these 15-minute candles on both futures here, ES and the Nasdaq. So yeah, that bid definitely coming in a little bit there. So the question is, where is the next trade? And I want to hear it from you guys. What are you guys trading? What are some of the names you guys are involved in? I liked Google and I liked Palantir. But again, across the board, lots and lots of opportunities. Now, again, my like one trader's A+ doesn't necessarily have to be another trader's A+ opportunity. I'm looking around, I'm seeing a lot of potential opportunities for people who have opening drive trades and reversion trades and 5-minute opening range breaks, and there's a lot on the table off of the open today, and absolutely beautiful market. So hopefully you guys are all kind of learning and enjoying these lessons from Mother Market for sure. I know I definitely am. In terms of other earnings names, I also had Costco. If you guys remember, Costco had some earnings. Wow, Palantir really is knocking on the door of that 130, man. I'm going to let that one kind of consolidate and hold on. I had a short all the way from 134s. Guess what? I cover on top of 133s. We're trading 130s. Oh, boy. Had to definitely hold that one in. That 130, look at that crack coming in. So that 128 is that prior day's kind of consolidation. I'm going to be looking for that area to see if anything interesting happens there on Palantir. But yeah, definitely some strong selling there after we attempted to push that 134 twice in right off of the open. So yeah, a little bit of an offside. I think we were talking about this morning as well, Sean. I was just like, yeah, this trade is definitely going to be very crowded. A lot of people are probably going to be looking for that chase long, and we saw that happen. With that 132 break, oh boy, almost instantly 50 pennies in the money through the 132 break. Talk about even dollars. And that push gives us all the way to 134. But yeah, catching a reversion now, pretty much trading below all of those prices. So anybody and everybody who are fresh longs off of the open, a little bit underwater, and sellers definitely in charge on Palantir after some of that action here. And again, you can see that market tailwind. That's a very strong confluence as well. We talked about the beta of this name last week. I think it was like around 2.6. I don't know if that's changed too much over the course of one day, but again, something to keep in mind there as the market sells off as well. But yeah, other than that, don't really have anything on watch. I'm going to check the chat to see what you guys are talking about here.
I got Palantir back into
Palantir.
You were just talking about it, but I just got back into it. So we wrote down, oops, that's the wrong stock. We wrote down 129s, Obi. So there it is, man. We're long at now 129.35. So here's another 80 cents, another 90 cents go on Palantir. See if we could just, this day is something special now. We're just long now again at Palantir,
Yep.
129.30s long right there on Palantir. We just put this on 3 seconds ago as you were talking, and there it is, man. Almost $1 in 1 minute right there upside on Palantir. Came right into our levels. We took that long, and there she goes. Nice little upside there for PLTR. I'm getting some more out of this level, though. There we go. Take some more out at O's. We'll get some more. I'm offering O7s as well. Let's see if we can get some upside push here for PLTR. So far, so good. There it goes, man. Yeah, okay. Take the breakout, take the dip buy, all of that right now printing out for PLTR. So there it is, right there. Thank you, Ciopsy there. Sean is in God mode today. Yeah, I mean, these are just the modes, man. It's like, when the market does these things, it's not, it's nice when these things hit, right? I mean, sometimes we'll be layering into some trades or whatever, and it doesn't hit out, but this is what we talk about, making sure that you feel good about your trades, really, at the end of the day, and patience and wait. And, we just did exactly what we've been writing down. And that we have written down here Palantir 129. So we're long at Palantir 129.30 and just cashed them out there at 130, over 130s. So it is so far so good here on PLTR. But I want to talk about some other names as well. So LYRA down into 27 again. This is the level that we'd actually wrote down is watch out for VWAP right here. So LYRA right back into VWAP and looking pretty good. What just happened? Okay, we got stopped out of our Google.
Another one.
Stopped out.
Good trade.
Yeah, right there. So we only had like less than 5% left. It does break the 50-period moving average. So there it is, man. 170 short. Our best fill is 167.50, which we were sitting at right there because it was the bottom of the day. So that turned out to be pretty good. And then boom goes the dynamite as we get out as it goes upside. So not the greatest out on that. We have less than now 2% left of Tesla. We just got a good out there at 137.75. That was about 6 or 7 minutes ago. So nice downside push there for Tesla as well. And we're starting to cover that. I'm debating just getting out of everything if we do break higher. What about a breakthrough? Let's just do 339. It's like we don't have a whole heck of a lot of shares left, so let's just do that out. 339.01. If we break that, let's just get out. We're already riding high right now with our Palantir. This is going to be the biggest trade for me, so we'll wait and see if we can, let this one go upside as well. Some talk today about UNH. I mean, this has been a good name, right? Off those bottoms. I think we got as low as, 265 maybe? Looks like maybe 250 and change. Nice move higher right now for UNH. See if we can get a little bit of a bar-coded play right there. And I think that the name that we've been buying a little bit here on the dips is not doing too bad. XBI was doing better, and then we faded out a little bit. XBI was great trading down there. We've been buying a little bit into here, nothing up here, but I think our last buy was like 78, so it's close. Because I saw Eli Lilly was moving around this morning, but now it's back down. Okay, so Eli Lilly this morning, 740, now back into 733. Where are we going now, Andre? Then let's go to Obi.
Yeah, guys. So have you ever entered an order to buy or sell, and the price you got was filled differently from what you expected? That might be called slippage, and that happens when you're trading on an older, underpowered computer, and it costs traders a bundle. So that's why our friends at Easy Trading Computers created the complete guide to trading computers. This guide shows you exactly what technology you need to succeed, and as a trader, to avoid slippage. Go ahead and scan that QR code or click the link in the description box to get a free copy of this guide. All right, guys, so catching a little bit of a consolidation now. We talked about that strong bid on that prior 15-minute candle. Now that 15-minute candle is closed. We got about 14 minutes left on this one, and you can see that little bit of a consolidation as of right now. Let's see if that buying that came in and gave us that strong wick on that prior 15-minute candle on both these futures can give us some continuation. And all I'm looking at is a prior bar high of that 15-minute to get clocked and then push a little bit higher and sustain as well. I'm watching Tesla as well to see if that can hold its current day low. Softy, though, turning back around here a little bit, back below that 460 mark. So that might be turning over a little bit. Got to keep an eye on that one as it is testing testing that prior day's range, right? We saw a little bit of a sideways action here on Softy going into the end of the week last week, and we're coming into that prior week's or end of day high, and I'm looking at that range holding as of right now. So let me kind of pull it up here so we can take a look at it together, so you guys know what I'm talking about right here. So you can see that range high again. we can just look at Thursday or even, I guess, Wednesday. Week started on Tuesday. You can see some strong selling coming in off that 460 on Tuesday, and then Wednesday, a little bit of a gap up, and then 462s we sell off all the way down to 57s, and then Thursday, 461s we sell off all the way down to 455s, and then a little bit of a consolidation hold 460s, and then maybe selling off. We got that strong bid into the close on Google as well, 461s. Guess what happens today? 461s come in with an aggressive bid, and we're catching a little bit of selling there. So to me, all this shows is that as of last week, these low to high 450s or low 460s, maybe a little bit of resistance area, maybe a little bit of a supply zone in the 460s, unless and until we can get over that. Again, that aggressive bid gets kind of stopped in its tracks at that 461, right? So something just that I'm watching on Google here, or sorry, on Microsoft, sorry, not Google, on Microsoft, that 460 area, a bit of a chop and churn sideways as we consolidate a little bit higher here. Again, looking at a higher time frame chart, you can see what Softy's trying to do, right? Softy's trying to push into this structure high as we've had a crazy run back up towards all-time highs. Now those are sitting on the daily at 464.79, currently trading at 459.90. So yeah, nice little wind up and a push there on Softy, bigger picture. Again, shout out to Michael Noss in the morning. He was saying that got to make sure we take a look at higher time frame charts. And oh boy, take a look at the monthly on this one. The monthly definitely poised for a little bit of a push. Let's see if that gets taken out. And again, we talked about the spider kind of looking like that as well. So some strong tailwind if we can get a lot of the names kind of pushing at the same time. Tesla, oh boy, we talk about that 15-minute chart. Catching a little bit of a bid off of that day low sitting at 335. I was looking at it at 38s, and I was like, do I really want to risk 4 points for this push? It's working out as of right now. But again, I'm going to let this consolidate a little bit more and see if that'll come into fruition. But you can see that selling that we had off of that strong push into 348s, 348.01 is the high. That selling coming in all the way to 335s starting to dissipate a little bit. But like I said, if we just consolidate near these lows and don't really move too much, then I don't know if I want to get involved with that one. But Apple potentially coming in here to its day lows as well. So one to watch out for. So we'll be right back. Let's see what Dara has to say.
Before we get into the small caps, here's the IWM. I want to talk really quickly here about comments from Fed's Logan, who's speaking right now, saying that if tariffs end up changing inflation expectations, that would be significant. We know that a lot of Fed members and speakers, including Fed Chair Jerome Powell, have spoken a lot more in recent months about watching these inflation expectations. So keep an eye on this. Fed's Logan still speaking. Let's talk about the IWM and these small caps. IWM looking pretty similar to the market, though I would say its move off the open was a lot less aggressive to the upside. We get this push from a high of 205.80, which we make on our first 3-minute candle of the day, all the way down to 202.70. Then we've bounced right now about 1.5 points from that level. So let's see how the IWM fares throughout the session. In terms of small cap runners, let's start here with NVDA. I mentioned this one earlier, that being Nuvve Holdings Corp. It's rallied in the past, just rejected a little bit from a day high of around $1.80. I'm not seeing any news on this one. We do have just under a 3 million share float, about a 9% short float there. Let's take a look at Applied Digital, APLD, about to take out day's highs. Great look for this one, announcing a AI data center lease with CoreWeave. Apparently this contract is valued near $7 billion. Last but not least, here is a Special Acquisition Corp, or SPAC, if you will, by the name of CLBR. This is Colombier Acquisition Corp, and apparently they're very close to entering a business combination with Grab a Gun. So keep an eye here on CLBR. Back to you.
Okay, some interesting names there for sure. Just quickly, we are trying to get out of Palantir. Palantir just wicked up here into 130.50, almost like 130.40. I'm going to sit there now at 130.30 and just to see what winds up happening. Unfortunately, we are out of our Tesla, but I feel like this is a great area to get out. And if anything, man, we're starting to coil up and maybe start to go long right there. We talked about a long as VWAP was coming in for the Nasdaq. We didn't take it because, again, don't like to catch those falling knives, but it does look like right now, you know, could be a hold there. We got going real early and then faded. So pretty, I don't ever want to say the word luck, but but pretty lucky that some of our trades actually were able to fill. Like if we don't get that upside move, then we don't have that short there on Tesla, right? If we don't get that, well, this is a little different because this went, I think this was going anyways. The market doesn't, Palantir is such a low percentage of any of these markets, it doesn't really matter, but that trade really started it off. All right, let's look at something else. I'm gonna have to refresh my e-signal because I think it's a little paused right here. So I'm just gonna reload that page and then get it going because I don't have anything breaking since 10:05, which might be right. I just don't have any indicators popping there, so I'm gonna let that settle down. There it is. Oh, we did not get out. I'm at 130.35s for Palantir, 130.35. To get it at, well, it's now $1 on this. This was the new long. There it is, there it is. Okay, good, we just got it. So there it is, so there's it, okay. Keeps going, man. You in this long too, Joe? Okay, and oh, you're not, don't tell me, did Ivan get to that level there that we liked? Oh yeah, we talked about it. Yeah, you already, yeah, I was looking for that exact low. Great job, Joe. Picked up that long, and we'll see where that flies from now. Yeah, I was actually looking for it to break, so yeah, I was not looking long, so great job there, Joe. Right now, we're $1.50 in the money on Palantir, so let's just go. I hope some of you are joining on this one. Again, this is another level that we wrote down on the sticky note. So now it's $1.40 in the money. We're just adding to our day right now on Palantir. Like that was just boom right there to the upside. We went and reloaded our coffees right there and missed that reload. That's too bad. What's up, Tia? What's up, everybody that's in the chat? I hope you guys are all having. It'll be $1.80 now on this Palantir. It's just ripping through 131 now. APLD, a lot of people talk about it. I know we just did on the desk as well. Ripping up to $10 now and going $44, sorry. Watch out for a $10 break, I guess, here on APLD. Have we been here before? Yes, we have. So watch. So if you zoom back out, 1050 there, an interesting level for APLD. And APLD, of course, we just talked about it, so I should know the name. Applied Digital, right there, $10. So watch out for this $11 level. I mean, we've been up here before. It could be a decent. Last time we were here, man, we didn't really stop until we got to 6. Then that last time, 350. So look out for this kind of a play if you're holding long term for APLD. All right, we can go over to Adair at the desk.
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Trade the Pool. This is one of the most valuable parts of Trade the Pool, and it's called VOD, Video On Demand Library. It's a free resource filled with real trading stories, strategy deep dives, and practical insights to help you grow. So whether you're looking to improve your entries, manage risk better, or just stay motivated, this is where experience meets education. And to make sure nothing valuable slips through the cracks, there's also the note feature. So see something worth remembering? Click note, write it down, and it stays saved right inside the video. So head to tradethepool.com, tap the trading VOD, and start completely free. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
I mean, I might just get out of some more of this here, which we are on Palantir, because we always wanted to get the 131 break long as well. So that could be a trade. So we're going to get some more out here and then probably just break this long through 131, man. Giving us a better average price, a worse average price, but obviously more shares. So, okay, it's bouncing its head off here. Let's get another piece out at 82. So we'll sit there. Oh, right now, there it is. We get that fill, and we'll just continue to watch it. So there it goes. Oh, yeah, we missed Robinhood. So good thing I did reset there. So Robinhood was starting to go. Amazon, they're all really starting to go. I got to watch out for Palantir. $66 now for Robinhood. Gets as high as $68 there today. Wow, okay. So Robinhood right now fading out right now, but what a good trade that was early. Followed some of those bangers like oh, there goes. Damn, Shody, I missed that Palantir at 131. So, okay, well, just came back in. Give me a chance to get some more. Give me a chance right now. So we'll buy some 9s, and then we'll just wind up seeing what's going on right now with PLTR. So we missed that 131 break, but we're able to get it back. So we just got a 131.09 there. Not a great amount of shares, but we'll see where I'm also bidding. O's. I don't know why I just put it at O's, but there we go. We got it anyways. All right, so where's the danger spot? Because this broke but didn't break with too much gusto. What about 70s? What about a 70 break lower on Palantir? This name is just very, very like jumpy, right? So if it can continue to go to the upside, let's take something out. But for right now, nice trade. 130. 169 outside if this winds up coming back. That's what I'm going to wind up doing. So let's wait to see if that's the breaker spot for us. We'll get out of 75% of it if it does fall back into those levels. Take advantage of this move up into the 20s and the 30s. We just got some more at 131. So good average in for us so far there on Palantir. It's the only position that we have as we are out of Tesla at a good level, I think, as well, 39s. We're out of Google, and we're just back into the only long that we've had all day. My number one P&L name, Palantir.
Yeah, no, that Google's coming back in here as well. I'm watching that 169 is coming in to test as the futures kind of rip right back up. So we did get that continuation that I was talking about. I was like, okay, well, maybe do we see that buying coming in that we saw that made that bottom wick on the prior 15-minute? Guess what? We got that prior 15-minute bar high break and that strong continuation off of that. So nice little push off of that one. And if you're taking scalps, maybe some opportunity there as well. But that 169 coming back in, I know I'm still short, but again, nothing too significant. I am looking for a bit of a reload here if it can start to slow down. The buying is what I'm talking about. But again, if that's not the case, then that's perfectly fine as well. I think the majority of the trade was that push down into VWAP and then maybe a little bit towards that day low. But if we're going to kind of revert about 50% of that now, maybe a little bit of a consolidation there. We saw kind of something similar on Palantir on Friday, where it was just pretty much all day. By the end of the day, it had only kind of consolidated sideways, but each leg had a beautiful extension, right? Very long and extended legs each ways to the upside, to the downside. So absolutely beautiful action there. And we're seeing some of the same kind of volatility here on these here markets, about a strong push to the upside, 100% reversion, and then now we're looking like it might push for another 100% reversion, the reversion of the reversion.
I was just going to say that.
The reversion of the reversion. And when that's happening, we might be ranging or consolidating a little bit there. Yeah, that's what we're watching here as of right now. So again, if it's going to be that, then I think keeping it simple, wait for the range highs to come in, see if sellers step back in, see if we false break, see if any strong reasons to sell come up near the upper end of the range. If not, then again, maybe continuation. What do I know? I'm just going to be patient and wait to see what happens here. Tesla came into VWAP and kind of
the market's kind of
bouncing off of it as of right now. Let's see what Adara has to say with the crypto watch.
Here is Bitcoin. I want to start with the 5-minute chart because there's a pretty interesting pattern here. So we first, I guess, starting here earlier Sunday, then repeating again early this morning, this 106,000 double top. Clearly a local area of resistance. Then we found an even more local area of resistance, for lack of a better term, around this 104.6 level. So these areas here are making these slightly lower highs, and we're also finding continuous rejection. Let's see if we can break above that 104.6 level. If so, we might get a little bit of a bounce of crypto and some of these other crypto-related plays in the equity space. Let's take a look at the daily chart as well for BTC before we move on here. BTC is still trying to make these lower highs, lower lows after making that new all-time high around that 12,000 level. Currently, we're still seeing that resistance around that 106,000 level that I just mentioned on the shorter time frame as well. Bitcoin basically flat here on the day for looking at this Binance view, but Ethereum up on the day, holding on to that 2,500 level, up 0.8%. BNB up about 0.5%. Solana relatively flat. Dogecoin relatively flat. So nothing super exciting here. None of these really closely watched crypto names are up or down more than 1% today, guys. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, I'm going to. Okay, so we did get out of 75%. So this Palantir trade, I mean, it's a good thing we added. It's a good thing we added because we were able to get out for 30 cents. But then we had about half left, and we got out of 75% of it right there. So it didn't go. I mean, I thought that break would have been a good chance. There, it just did not come through. So right now, I'm going to go again right against here 130.25s. If we break down below 130.25, then we're out. We will average a little bit in here. I thought around 50. Did we just not get filled there? Yeah, 52s we're waiting for. So just ahead of 50. We'll see if we can get something out. So here it comes back in for Palantir. We're going to take a 20, let's call it with slippage, 30-cent hit here. We're going to buy some 52s right now if it does come in, and then buy it against this level right there. I did want to look at our friend DraftKings because today it's not a friend of mine, although I did have the Oilers winning and I did have the Panthers winning their series, and now I'm just not sure about what I want to do in this upcoming. I think it's going to be a great, me and Joe have a bet, but I think it's going to be a great Stanley Cup. So we'll let that settle down and then play off of that. I use FanDuel, but DraftKings there coming back into 132A. We also have Profit X, a good thing to use as well. They're not available in Canada though for me to log into that one. $33 there for DraftKings, down 8% today. As we get that exercise tax there, you know, anytime you put a bet on and you're in the state of Illinois, it's going to cost you 25 cents going right to the state, and then 50 cents after that once you reach a certain threshold. So that's not a great thing for them, especially if the rest of the world sort of says that's not a bad idea. I don't think that's what's going to wind up happening, but if it does, DraftKings is in a little bit of hurt. It's at a buy level for me right now. I think we should step in and maybe let's let it go. I kind of treat this almost like, let's go maybe that 3-day rule again on DraftKings. Like if we can hold, I don't want to put money into this, but you know, we're coming into a level where if you're looking to get $1,000 in on DraftKings, maybe you put $250 in right now. If you're already in like me, maybe you add 10% to it or something, but you have fallen in for DraftKings right now pretty decently. So that is just absolutely nuts what just happened to Palantir, by the way. We're back into this level. We're waiting for 120. What was that level I highlighted again?
128?
I put in 129. Yeah, sorry. It's the wrong level. I put in a bid at 129.52. So we're going to get stopped out right here on a break of, so we don't have that many shares left. So my stop order actually was lower than that, but we should have probably got stopped out right here, 129.30. Let's just do it and then regroup, because quite clearly I was looking at the wrong time frame there. We should have got out at that 130.30 break. So that's just what happened right there. I meant to average in and didn't, so good thing on that, but there's the stop out. Should have not looked at DraftKings as I forgot to put that stop in there. So again, we only had 75% of the trade left, and it wasn't a huge piece. Obviously, we'll give back there 3% of our day. We gave back 3% of the day. Again, I don't have any problems telling you guys that kind of stuff, as that was a loss right there. So we got out. Then we got out at 75% there. Then there we go, lost 3% of our day so far on that last little take right there. So we're not done trading by any stretch, but for right now, maybe it is time just to calm down a little bit and see what where sort of that next trade lies.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good look there. Again, coming off of that morning session, it's been about an hour since the open. A lot of that aggressive action that we've held starting to dissipate, starting to consolidate as well. So one to keep an eye out for. Something to keep an eye out for is where is the next trade, where's the next opportunity. That's what I'm waiting for as well. But let's see what Adair is up to.
Keep an eye here on the market. We have some comments coming through from Fed's Logan that don't super seem to be moving things here, but worth noting regardless. We know Fed's Logan previously was speaking about inflation risks from tariffs. She's opined further here, saying that the risks from tariffs are higher unemployment and higher inflation. So the result of this is that the two Fed goals are going to be in conflict with one another. So some comments here from Fed's Logan still coming through. She's also saying that it's apparently important to think about tailoring the regulatory policy. Back to you.
Thank you very much.
We just found out from Sharif was not wanting us to look at, but mentioned here, and NVIDIA looking decently there. So again, really like that coil. This reminds me of Tesla, to be honest with you, except for it didn't have that dramatic move down where we coil up, we break view up, we come back in looking at it again, and then there's the move up. The reason why I look at that for Tesla is it's kind of doing the same thing, right? Well, sorry. It wasn't Tesla. Was it Google then? Was it Google that I was talking? Yeah. Okay, so there it was. So Google kind of coiled up, and then there it goes, breaking VWAP, came back in, tried to test VWAP again, and now holding out a little bit higher. 170 was still going to be a look for me on Google if we do get back up there. We did buy some more Palantir, though, and oh boy, did that turn out to be a good little move. As, again, I had my levels messed up there, so I punched out panicking. Maybe we should not have, but we're back in because I was like, I want to get back into that 2% or 3% that we lost. It's right back in there again right now. We're going to let's go, Andre, to Adair for news because I just heard that, then we'll come back, okay?
CNBC here looks like they're basically just saying that Trump and Xi are expected to speak this week, quote, very soon, but not today. It's unclear if this is, it says breaking news here, but we know it's kind of similar comments from Kevin Hassett earlier today, so it's unclear if these are brand new, brand new news, or if this is recycling of news. We know Kevin Hassett is a senior White House official, and it does say apparently that a senior White House official is stated to have made these comments. So just be aware here. CNBC circling this story that Trump and Xi of China are expected to speak this week, very soon, but not necessarily today, Monday, June 2nd. Back to you.
Okay, that's
You know what, you hear that song, used to be a song, Tacos Falling from the Sky or something like that. It's raining tacos. Have you ever heard that song? Hallelujah, it's raining tacos. Never heard?
Doesn't it go, it's raining men? Hallelujah?
Well, I mean, I don't know what songs you listen to, but no, just playing around. Yeah, that's where it comes from. I'm telling you, it's raining tacos. Right. I want to, I'm going to find that video. I want to play the audio on it, though. I want to find It's Raining Tacos. Where's Fabian at? We're not allowed to, we can't play 5 seconds of It's Raining Tacos? Yeah. Maybe not.
We need some licensing.
Wants to know if I'm going to pay the licensing fee. I was like, yes, immediately.
Some licensing there.
Can we buy the rights to It's Raining Tacos? Because I feel like that would be a good thing, especially with what the couples of thousands of dollars. All right, well, Obi can handle that.
Yeah. Couple trades.
2,000 to 3,000 for the rights of It's Raining Tacos.
Oh boy,
I'm in the wrong business over here.
Well, how do we market make that business?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, it's raining hot dogs too. We talk about that all over the place. There's oh yeah, that's right. My bad, Andre. There's another move right there for Palantir, and oh boy, man, 70 cents in the money. About that minus 3% from the top. Erased. If you're interested, you can scan that QR code though below. eSignal's a charting platform that I've been using for 20 plus years. Very, very reliable. You know, take it everywhere with you. App stores lighting up. With the #1 downloaded app in the App Store is not eSignal, but you can go get it there as well. 50 plus brokers. Oh man, what am I doing? 50 plus brokers connect over here. World customizable charts and everything else. So go get eSignal ASAP, man, and scan that right now to grab your first month for free off of eSignal. We're really excited to have them on board. Thank you to our friends, of course, at eSignal. Oh boy, there goes the market, man. It is raining tacos, but for right now, it is a nice downside move. Does any of you, I haven't looked at the chat. Am I on crack thinking there is a song called It's Raining Tacos, right? Okay, so fine. Because I remember my kids, like when we used to have like Taco Tuesday or whatever, like I remember It's Raining Tacos. Hallelujah. And they were just so cute. They used to dance around and all that kind of stuff. So, but apparently, you know, we don't have the rights to do that, Obi. We're not making enough money, so we have to wait for those rights to come through. But great day today. There's that new news there. Like, I don't know if a face-to-face with those two is how well that's going to go, unless, especially if it was a little bit aggressive from the U.S. side. So let's just wait. That's a piece, again, from CNBC, now on X. Adara's brought into us as well. So it's going to be an interesting story for the rest of this week. Let's just wait to see where it goes. We're long for now. For how long? We'll wait. If this breaks through 130 on Palantir, we're out. All right, it's Adara. She's over at the green screen. Let's see what she's all talking about.
We're about flat in this market, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell by looking at the sector board because there's a lot of weakness in a lot of sectors. Finance, right across the board here. Consumer services, very weak. Producer manufacturing, weak. Transportation, with the exception of GE, pretty steadily to the downside. Health technology with some red tickers here. Consumer non-durables, process industries, and some of these commercial names. But let's talk about where there's some strength. Energy minerals looking quite good across the board. Some of these names getting a downgrade this morning from, I believe it was Goldman Sachs, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell. We have tons of weakness here in consumer durables too, worth noting. Tesla leading this group to the downside. But let's talk about these tech names. Broadcom and NVIDIA looking great here in electronic technology. AMD strong as well, but some of the other names in here a little bit more mixed. Then we have technology services. Google red here, Meta green. Some of the other names here a little bit flat here, oscillating. So keep an eye on this sector board. Not as many green sectors as you might expect, given that nice push to the upside off the open. Back to you.
Very much Adara. Yeah, so I kind of in a bit of a cheeky position here. Worked out pretty well, but okay, I gotta probably. You know what? That's probably going to take me out. But Google here, that was pretty nice. Quick little scalp I had off of that pop. Remember, I was like, okay, it was pulling back up into 169. I had less than 10% of the short that I had earlier here. I know we got some wicks on these charts, but oh boy, is that coming in? Yeah, I guess. But again, getting short on that initial dissipation of the bid into the lows, getting out there, and then watching that bid kind of come all the way back into 169s, and then observing the market turn a little bit there as well for a quick scalp on Google for a reversion to VWAP, and that's coming in right there.
Let's go.
Reversion to VWAP, that was quick. That was a nice quick scalp there from 169s and change all the way to 168 halves. It's consolidating there on top of VWAP once again, so I'm going to be a little bit patient and kind of walk away. That flush down was aggressive. Again, prior bar low break, however you want to define trend, the trend was broken and it was insta selling there. If you look at it on a shorter time frame, I have it here on a 1 minute, kind of cracking that 168.80s all the way down into VWAP, instantly printing like 50s. So I'm like, all right, well, if you're going to give me that kind of selling, I do want to kind of take it off right away and then maybe reassess as well. And it seems like we're trying to take a little bit of a leg continuation to the downside. We talk about it potentially being a little bit of a range day, maybe. As we kind of make that range as of right now, 169s, 170s, a little bit of supply, maybe 167 halves, 168s, maybe a little bit of demand as of right now as we kind of compress. But you can see the same kind of thing happening here on the futures, bit of a shake and bake. We've printed these prices multiple times during the day, so consolidative action, a lot of chop here on the day. CoreWeave, oh boy, that was one. That's related to that APLD you were talking about earlier. CoreWeave was another one off of the open. This is what I mean. I can't have eyes everywhere, but definitely playbook action is happening across the board as CoreWeave. Look at this opening drive, man. Absolutely beautiful opening drive. And if you weren't there for the opening drive, the reversion as well. Look at that 124 all the way back down into 115. Kind of that pre-market consolidation area, and then we go back for the leg as well. A bit of a VWAP orbit here on CoreWeave, and then APLD. I know a lot of people were involved in this one as well, off of the open. Absolutely beautiful action there on that one as well, coming in with that sympathy or with the related news. I don't know what the specific news was, but right here, Applied Digital signed 2 15-year leases with CoreWeave for 250 megawatts of IT load in its North Dakota center, expected to generate $7 billion in revenue. So expected to generate $7 billion in revenue when its current market cap is at $2 billion. So can it get a strong move? Maybe. It's gotten about a 50% move off of those undisturbed prices here down in the mid $6 level on APLD. So pretty solid push on that one there. What is Google doing? Google back up, so I'm glad I kind of covered there on that VWAP hold. Where is the next trade? I got no idea, but I'm looking, I'm hunting, and I don't know. Still going to be...
Yeah, no, same way.
I don't see anything right off the bat.
Someone in the chat just wanted to know about my last Palantir trade. I mean, we said we were going to get it if it broke 130. So that's what happened, man. We tried it. It broke 130. We got out. Like, it's... we said this... Oh, wow. Tesla is getting crushed back to the day's low again. We're out of Tesla, but look at this move. Wow, what a move back in for TSLA. Yeah. Oh, boy. That was a good one, man. Right off the 50-period moving average and now getting lower. I mean, those bottom wicks could be something interesting, but do we really want to piece out? Do we want to take a piece here of Tesla against this? Like, I don't know, man. This is a big move down right now for TSLA and actually still trying to go. So a little nervous hands right there. I'm noticing that Amazon's actually is holding out pretty decently right now in and around VWAP. I mean, the market's doing the same thing. I was wondering about a buy off the 200 period for Amazon. I think I'd much rather like this 50 period there because that was an area of interest. So 203.80 maybe on Amazon. If that can come in, that would be something that we'd want to look at. Let's go, oopsies, that's Blue Ocean again. Let's go over to Alibaba on the NYSE just to see what's going on with this market right now. On some of that Chinese news again, nice little bump higher than the fade out. So this name's actually positive today, is Alibaba. So I think this could be a long. You want to look for nice names that are at some decent levels for possible longs, right? So Alibaba, maybe a break above this level. We'd like to get above VWAP 114.30s or so here for Alibaba. But we have had some nice wicks down into 114 flat. So that could be something there, 114.18s if the market really wants to go. What about an Alibaba long again? So Palantir, I think we should be done with it. It just broke back above. Right now, 130 again. So Palantir has been a little bit of a difficult trade for sure. So we can maybe hold off on what we're doing right now on Palantir because we don't have the greatest read, it appears to be here on this name. So we'll hold off and see if there's anything there. I think it's going to be Alibaba maybe for our next trade if we get down around 114. So we are going to look for that as something else there. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah, so good job there. Shout out to Trump's tariff slumps right here. USAR and UAMY. We actually had UAMY as one of the sponsors, I believe, for the show at one point. This is another name here as we look at rare earth. So thank you so much for that one. Trump's tariffs there in the chat, 100% right. So there's the move up. This is what apparently the controversy is right now, where it lies with Trump or with the United States and China is the access to some of these rare earths. So UAMY and USAR. Another name, yeah, U.S. Rare Earth. So there we go. So good. Thank you so much for that. These are two names here that we could definitely have a quick look at for that trade. So good point out there. IBIT not doing too much. It is 10:48, so we're going to go to Money Talks and we're going to figure out what's for lunch after that. But let's just have a quick look at NVIDIA, a trade that we haven't made today. Normally on my mind is NVIDIA. Pretty flat right now, not doing much. A name that we want to buy on any real kind of dips would be Netflix. This was just at its highs and probably still there as well. I'm not even sure what its most recent high is. Yeah, 12, basically right here, 12.18. So Netflix not doing anything. Let's have a quick look at some of the banks, and I'll throw it back over to Obi, and then we'll get ready to go for Adara, and then only 10 more minutes after that, we'll be done, and then we'll go over to the midday show, where they should have some exciting things for sure to talk about today. Yeah, JP Morgan not doing anything. LYRA, 28 bucks. We talked about 27. I don't know what's going on here. This is a pretty good barcoded name right now. So you would say maybe a break of 30 could be something here on LYRA moving forward. Amazon, yeah, I know. Perfect trade setup right now, says Adventures. I like Amazon potentially right now at VWAP, maybe breaking higher. Still a little too consolidated for me. Would like a trade that's a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, I agree with that one. Amazon looking pretty good at these levels, Obi.
Yeah, we're kind of just consolidating a little sideways here. Again, Google's still in and around that VWAP as of right now. Futures consolidating underneath that 21,400. So again, I'm being patient. I'm kind of, I guess, looking for that continuation here, getting a little bit more involved as well. Palantir, though, still holding that 130 like a champ, man. So a little bit of a consolidation there. We saw how aggressive and strong yesterday or the prior trading day was on Palantir. So if we're going to hold a base and kind of consolidate on top of or around a key level like 130, or if we're going to make some structure that can define some key levels for us, like this 130 or 129 area hold, I definitely want to keep an eye out, continue to watch on that one there, Palantir as well. But yeah, going into the later half of the day, I think things of interest are going to be obviously the TQs, seeing how we end up consolidating like this on the day, and as well as I guess Palantir and Tesla as well, definitely on watch. Google, not as much for me anymore, but I am involved in it. It's the only one that I'm involved with, but I am looking for where the potential next trade is. There's some push there on the futures there, but we will see what we got going on here with Money Talks.
Get it, Adara? I don't know.
Here's the US dollar, which I would say is very much getting it to the downside here. We've had lower highs for quite some time. Of course, the most recent, I would say, obvious lower high is this harsh test and rejection of that 102 level. Then we get this pretty wild, this was a gap up here. Then we actually have a bearish engulfing in the same day. That was last Thursday, high here of 100.6. That would be our most recent lower high. Now we're actually trying to break this pseudo flat bottom area here around 98.6. Now, of course, our next low, our most recent, I would say local low, there end of April. That's going to be this double bottom we get at just around 98. So let's see if we make it to that level, if we're able to bounce prior to that. Only time will tell, but let's see what this DXY does. I want to pay some attention here to our Fed Watch tool. Now, for June and July, we're still overwhelmingly seeing chances here of no rate cuts. We still have price in 75% roughly for the month of July, and then about 95% for the June meeting later this month. We are not expecting there to be any rate changes, but if you go ahead here to the month of September, we've actually seen a steady increase in the chances of a 25 basis point cut. So on May 2nd, that actually would be prior to the May Fed meeting, we were seeing 27.6% chances at 25 basis point cut. Those have almost doubled. As of today, we're seeing about a 56% chance of a cut. So it looks like even though we're still likely not to see a rate move in either of the next 2 months, if you go ahead to September, that chance does increase. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Miss A. We do have a new trade. Great to have Adara back, of course. It was just back last Thursday, so there it goes, man. Alibaba now 20 cents in the money. I mean, I was mentioning this was the next trade for me, so we did put it on. We got a piece out at 40, which was just 14 cents, but I am waiting. You know what? I should maybe go to 46. I'm waiting at 48 because I wanted to wait just before VWAP there, or sorry, just before 50s, not VWAP at all. So let's go here, 46. We'll see if we can get a fill right there, right now. Hopefully we can do that. That'd be 20 cents. Nice move. There's the 50. There's the 200 period moving average. We did want to buy some Alibaba again because, you know, if there's China-U.S. talk, maybe we get another story that leaks. I think if that's going to be positive, I think Alibaba's nice. You know, should be able to cook a little bit there with AI and everything. Alibaba had a good quarter as well. So let's wait to see if that does want to work. We're leaving Palantir alone for good reason. Tesla as well, just touched the 50 period again. I feel like this has been pretty good, but once, twice, thrice, like I'm not sure we want to keep on looking there, just in case it you know, doesn't work. That could be the spot that people are waiting for it to break, and then if we can hold that, I almost like a 340 long on Tesla, but that needs to happen, and that doesn't appear to be happening right now at all. All right, people saying Tempest AI. Yeah, I mean, another great name there. We have Gia Vernova as well. Could be a good one to look at. This is another one of those Nancy Pelosi beloved names that she had bought in about 6 months ago, I believe, or so on Tempest. But again, up from $54 up to $62 right now as that continues to make a move off of 52. Wow, good move there off the 50-period moving average. Tempest AI. There's also CoreWeave that we haven't looked at today. This name just continues also its mission higher, it seems like every day. Up another 5% today. It has pulled back, but yeah, CoreWeave, what a great move there off. I know Jim Cramer has been pumping this one for a minute. That's been real nice, man. Off of their earnings call, boom, CoreWeave, huge move again for that name. Upside. So SMH today, we haven't really looked at AMD. I was just looking at the SMH. Well, it's kind of relatively flat over the last little while. You can see what AMD is also doing. Despite that first little bump, we've been holding VWAP, and now we're starting to break a little underneath it now. So I don't want to say nervous about anything because nervous is not what I am. It's just looking around to see, you know, maybe we are starting to break a little bit lower. So some of these shorts could come in, and that's what we're looking. I'm not going to average into Palantir. I'm going to be out of here. We're going to go to the gym. We're going to put in some work there, and then we'll come back at around noon to figure out, or 12:30, figure out where this market is then. But I'm going to be holding on to this Alibaba trade until it breaks below 114. So we'll average it in and around the 50-period moving average, then a break of 114 into there. Then we probably get a little bit lower. So we're going to wait for Alibaba. We're pretty excited about it here today. It's been a great, great day in the markets, Obi. So tell me something that, have you discussed your plan of action? Where's your out on Google yet? If you're wrong, okay.
I mean, again, it's consolidating around VWAP, so I'm watching this range, looking for a potential pullback in. But you can see the futures just consolidating sideways, right? So it's like, all right, well, I'm gonna let this kind of chop and churn as of right now, keeping it like I said before, a little light and tight until it can give me a distinct push here. And if we can get that distinct push, then I'm more than willing to get a little bit more involved in the trade for that continuation. But yeah, I think you're right. a lot of solid opportunities.
There's Baba.
Both ways, some great shorts,
Yes,
some great longs.
Fucking go.
Both ways, some range trades, some opening breaks, some reversions. Absolutely beautiful opportunities in these markets. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that.
That was in a picture
Again, Mother Market giving us all the lessons every single day here. Palantir, again, trading in and around that 130 mark, man. It's still trying. It's trying pretty aggressively to hold as of right now. We've been consolidating here since about 10 o'clock. So it took us about half an hour to kind of pop and fade all the way back down. But since then, we've been kind of consolidating for the past, I guess, hour or so on top of this 130, 129.5-ish area here on Palantir. So let's see if we can get that continuation. Again, a lot of interest and a lot of eyes on this name. Again, we talked about this morning. A lot of potential to be crowded as well, and a little bit of a maybe consolidation and indecisiveness as we attempt to discover try to discover fresh prices above prior day's highs. Didn't quite get there, and then a little bit of a pullback into prior day's range as well. Let's see if the selling can come in. We've only got about I guess less than 3 minutes now until the day closes. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you guys have traded during this morning session. I think there were a lot of opportunities across the board here. And Baba, oh boy.
Yeah, we just took 35 cents again there on Alibaba. So we'll say dada. Nice move there for Alibaba, as again, there it is, man. We're just doing the most with the least right here, man. I mean, there goes Alibaba. We talked about, you guys wanting some trade ideas live. We talked about buying Alibaba there at VWAP. We talked about the Chinese story there with Adara. We talked about everything except for what's for lunch. Okay, today we actually had some hard-boiled eggs, which is pretty good this morning there. The problem with the hard-boiled eggs, of course, is the peeling of the hard-boiled eggs, but I think that went well for many people there. Joe, did you have a hard-boiled egg sandwich today? Not a hard-boiled egg guy. Okay, so no hard-boiled eggs there for Joe. So that was a fail by me. So what's up to that one right there? No, not fruit salad. Failed right there. But today's what's for lunch. And again, we've had a couple of these today. It is in the poultry side of it. It is going to be a chicken dinner winner for lunch. And I think it's going to be great. I mean, we have one of the best festivals here, of course, on the Danforth.
Yep. Taste of the Danforth.
So there it is, the Taste of the Danforth. Today would be grilled Greek chicken with meze rice, seasoned vegetables, and of course, can you guess what kind of a salad it would be?
Caesar salad.
Grilled Greek chicken. It is a Greek salad kind of a day right there. So there it is. That is what's for lunch. A little bit of a Greek flair as we'll sprinkle that around. And I hope we'll get some of that souvlaki or whatever that grilled Greek chicken is onto our salad this morning or this afternoon as well, Obi. So it's been a great opportunity to trade today, man. Whether or not you've been long or short, you're short right now. Google. I was short Tesla. Huge off the morning, short Google, huge. Again, now in and out of Palantir a bunch of times. Now we're long Alibaba, which is now 40 cents in the money with only 15 seconds left. Obi, what are you excited about for lunch? The grilled Greek chicken or the salad?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, man,
I like the, again, a little bit of protein, a little bit of vegetables as well. Definitely, always gotta have a lot of protein.
Got to do something like
that.
that.
Gotta have the protein. That's what I'm
right.
excited for. But yeah,
Obi, make sure that you'll join me back here at 2 o'clock.
I'll be here.
All right, good. Thank you, Obi. All right, look, we're loving it. Oh, there it is. What's up, Nimrud? There, thank you for the super chat. He loves the culinary segments. Well, then you got it right there. This is something that we'll be barbecuing up hopefully daily for you. And Nimrod, you've been here for a very long time and know that what's for lunch has been well documented. Around here. It's one of Joe's favorite segments. So from everybody here, thank you so much. Thank you to Bears vs. Bulls. An absolutely huge day again from you. Thank you so much. Thank you to Adara for all the throws and all the news stories again. Thanks to Obi for just being the sort of the calmness to my madness. And thank you to everybody for watching. We'll bring it back. Thank you, Andre, Fabian, Ramin, everybody. Sharif and Joe are going to take you in for the midday. Until then, we'll see you at 2 o'clock. Trade well.
Yeah.